very noticeably absent was one Jason Tatum, who afterwards was asked if he's sick or hurt. He said, no, I'm fine. Did not play a single minute. Henry, what are your thoughts? On today's Part of My Take, we have an awesome interview with the legend himself, John Elway. I was teasing it on Twitter today, PFT, and I said that it was one of those interviews that we don't do it very often, but like I was legitimately starstruck.
He's a legend.
It's John Elway.
He was football.
He was part of some of the most iconic games, plays, Super Bowls, college games ever. And we talked to he literally got the whole interview. He was cool with us. We even talked about Paxton Lynch. So awesome interview. We're going to talk a little Olympics. Team USA had their first official game of the Olympics. Hank is on vacation, but he is going to join us for some Jason Tatum talk. And then we do a very fun Mount Rushmore.
Crazy.
Oh, Hank!
I thought he was going to join us.
He's going to join us, Hank. You're not joining us yet.
It's going to be an all-time spin zone.
And then after the John Elway interview will be our Mount Rushmore, which is a very fun one. Mount Rushmore of after-school snacks. After-school snacks. And we are brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. If you're not playing best ball at DraftKings, you're missing out. Here's what you need to know. DraftKings Best Ball Millionaire Contest is their biggest fantasy contest ever. 15 million guaranteed prize pool with two. That's right, 2 millionaires being crowned for first and second place. If you're a set it and forget it type like me, then Best Ball is for you. No waiver wires, no roster management, bigger roster so injuries won't end your season. Only the draft, and that's it. You're set for the season. Still not convinced? Check this out. This year, DraftKings is offering everyone a draft one, get one special. Your $20 entry fee scores you a bonus ticket. Get in on all the best ball action. Download the DraftKings app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for all customers who enter the NFL Best Ball 15 million millionaire contest to get a bonus ticket and get a shot at being crowned one of 2 millionaires only on DraftKings. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by DraftKings. Get in on all the best ball action. Download DraftKings app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for all customers who enter the NFL Best Ball 15 million millionaire contest to get a bonus ticket and get a shot at being crowned one of 2 millionaires only on DraftKings. Today is Monday, July 29th, and PFT football is back.
What a great weekend. It was back together weekend for the NFL.
It is back. What I'm talking about now, I know that preseason doesn't matter anymore, and I know the Hall of Fame game on Thursday, there will probably be no starters playing, but this is the beginning of the first week where every single week for the next 26 weeks, we will have football on our TV. And again, I know that there's not going to be actual starters playing on Thursday night, but seeing the helmets, seeing the ball, seeing the field, football is back.
We're going to get to the kickoffs.
See the
new
kickoffs.
No, it was back together weekend. I don't know if you saw that, but the NFL was making a real hard push to call this back together weekend.
Oh, Jim Irsay came to a first practice. It's first time being seen in public since December.
Yeah, it's good to see every team. You get all the little nuggets. Most of them don't make any difference whatsoever, but you get to see like a new quarterback making an easy pass and be like, damn, that spiral looks tight.
Yeah, Daniel Jones missing Malik Neighbors.
I saw
that one.
I saw one where he did complete a pass down the sidelines to Malik Neighbors, who only got 1 foot in, and then they put that out as like we got ourselves a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the social media from the first weekend of the NFL being back is awesome because every team, you think that you're going to be like 10 wins. I can talk myself into 10 wins for any team except for maybe not the Panthers.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I have a renewed sense of optimism.
Yes.
Football season, baby.
Jaden Daniels looks good.
Jaden Daniels looks awesome. And then do you think we'll get to see any Caleb?
No, I don't think so. But it doesn't matter. It's about seeing on the TV, the graphic, the kickoff, the helmets.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to watch maybe 3 minutes of it.
Oh, no, I'm going to watch a lot of it, and we're going to get to see probably a new score bug that we all get to complain about.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of cool stuff that goes in with starting a new league year, and, man, I feel like this was a long offseason, but we're back, baby.
It did feel like the longest offseason. We will also probably get to see a little Tyson Bagent, which would be awesome.
That'll be great, yeah.
He said that he was so locked in, he doesn't give a fuck about like bringing in, whether there was going to be someone who was brought in or not as a competitive backup.
Mm-hmm.
He said he's been grinding his absolute face off.
I love that.
He doesn't even know.
I love that. We're also going to get, for the first time this year, in-game coach interviews.
Yeah.
Like on the sidelines. Florio just reported that. It had something to do with the NFL trial for Sunday Ticket, and the judge was like, you need to make this more fan-friendly. I know what we'll do. In-game interviews with coaches who I'm sure will really give a lot of good nuggets for all the fans watching at home.
Guys who don't want to be interviewed being forced to interview.
Yeah, you want to
what
see
could go wrong?
You want to see Jim Harbaugh talk on camera for 5 seconds a half?
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah, this will do it. But yeah, football is back. Feels good to have football back. Now, this week, like we said, is a little bit of a different week. Hank's on vacation, Max is on vacation. PFT, you're about to head out. We have the Takies on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
We have a great interview coming Friday. We'll do a Zoom intro, and then also probably my favorite Mount Rushmore we've done of the season thus far. But we have Hank here on Zoom because U.S. men's basketball team played their first game today. Well, some of them played their first game.
Tyrese Halliburton didn't get in, but, I mean, no one expected him to get in.
Yeah,
it's not like he's a top 5 player.
Yeah, so 10 of the 12 guys played their first game.
Mm-hmm.
Very noticeably absent was one Jason Tatum, who afterwards was asked if he's sick or hurt. He said, no, I'm fine. Did not play a single minute. Henry, what are your thoughts?
Steve Kerr is a piece of shit. That's really what this all boils down to. Jason Tatum did have a better plus minus than Joel Embiid, so there's that.
That's true.
Which Max is in Paris right now, and we have a video. We asked him to record a video message addressing the fact that Joel Embiid was simply horrendous in this game. I think the stats were, I have them right here. They were with Joel Embiid playing, they were -8. Without him playing, they were plus 34.
And they were booing the shit out of him, too. The French fans don't like Joel Embiid because they offered him a passport.
Yeah.
Back like 2 years ago, I think.
Spurned him.
Because they were like, we want to get Wemby, we want to get Gay, and we want to get Joel Embiid to play and just go with like a monster, like Monstars lineup, essentially.
Yeah.
And Embiid said, no, I'm going to wait to see
Gobert. Gay?
Not Gay, yeah, Gobert.
I was going to say, Rudy Gay is French?
The other Rudy. I think if your name is Rudy, you have a French passport. But no,
I was like,
yeah.
is Rudy Gay going to be – because Rudy Gay is one of those guys that he was like a creative player, the perfect like size, everything, and he just, for some reason, it was never like what he was supposed to be. But if you told me he was going to be playing in these Olympics, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. He's still around.
For France.
Him and OJ Mayo. I'm like, yeah, they'll be great.
Great in 2K.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like France, they're pissed off at Joel Embiid just like everybody else except for Philly fans are. And even they hate him sometimes. But yeah, Hank, that's a good spin zone where it's like it could have been worse. He could have played and stunk.
Yeah.
But you could see him on the sidelines and he didn't seem like he was super locked in or super happy when we were doing – like if you're an injured player on the sidelines, you clap that shit up. You know, you root your guys on. But if you're just upset that you're not in – and maybe Steve Kerr's doing this on purpose.
Yeah.
Maybe Steve Kerr's trying to stop the dynasty before it starts.
No, see, that's what I appreciate about Steve Kerr, even though he's a classless piece of shit. Jason Tatum was there the last Olympics. He led the team to a gold medal. LeBron wasn't there. Steph Curry wasn't there. Joel Embiid wasn't there. Yet somehow Joel Embiid starting this game, he's the worst player on the fucking team, probably in the whole Olympics. But also, I should be screaming. They glossed over. They didn't put Jaylen Brown on the team, and now the Celtics are going to be the most motivated championship-winning team of all time coming into next year. It's going to be great for Jason Tatum to be back on a team in an organization that actually appreciates him. So, in a way, I'm happy that Steve Kerr did what he did, even though he's a piece of shit.
Okay, so Derek White and Drew Holiday did play a lot, and they played well.
Yeah.
Question for you, Hank. Does Jason Tatum, do you think he took a shower after the game?
No.
Do you think he showered with the boys just to kind of feel some camaraderie?
No, probably not.
Yeah, that's tough.
So you think he's gonna get heavy minutes in the second game?
Yeah, I mean, Steve Kerr's little excuse after was like, with KD coming. Thing is, they were up 20. Like, he's
Well,
all NBA.
Not
last
all
game.
games. No.
Wait, are you saying Jason Tatum should at least be like a walk-on scrub player?
Steve Kerr said he couldn't find time to put him in or whatever, which is just bullshit. Like, just let him play.
What Hank's saying is that the team did really, really well without Jason Tatum on the court.
Also, Kevin Durant was like out of this world good. He started the game 8 for 8, could not miss. So you wanted Jason Tatum to play instead of him?
No, I just think when you have a guy again, like he's put in the time. He's an All NBA, first team player the last 2 years. He just won an NBA championship. I think he can find him a couple minutes, like at least mix him in the rotation. It's pretty disrespectful not to, but it is what it is.
But you were saying you would rather, you think that he should get the minutes of an NBA Finals MVP guy.
I never said that.
Well,
like
Kevin
that's
Durant.
literally you just putting words in my mouth. I never ever once said that.
But Kevin Durant played so well today. You can't take him out when he's shooting that well.
And he also has
Kevin
won the
Durant
NBA
played-
Finals MVP. I think
Kevin Durant played phenomenal. Yeah, Kevin Durant's an all-time player.
Yeah. And Kevin Durant has embraced the nickname, finally, the Slim Reaper.
Yes.
Which it's about goddamn time because it's such a good nickname. He had the Slim Reaper, he had the Tarantula, and he was like, no, I want to be called the Servant instead because he didn't feel he was worthy of the nickname. No, this is a Slim Reaper. We have a Slim Reaper Kevin Durant in these Olympics.
Yes. And he was incredible. I mean, he does play well on super teams.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a fact.
It's true.
So Hank, any other comments from vacation? Because this had to have, you're on vacation, you deserve your vacation. To then see this happen, you're like, God damn it, I'm gonna have to do like 10 minutes of my job today. That's got to be brutal.
Yeah, I did listen to the podcast earlier, Friday's podcast. I got 1 minute in before I turned it off. So
Why? What did we say?
We were nice.
I think you started it by again because it's like I talked to you guys behind the scenes. I'm like, hey, my whole family's going to be together.
The Wednesday,
Yeah,
Wednesday start of a
family.
vacation.
They're all going to get together for the first time, and I don't know how long. Do you mind if I take Wednesday off? Like, yeah, absolutely, no problem. Do what you got to do. Like, no worries.
Yeah.
And then I listen to the podcast, and it's like, well, Hank's not here. He fucking took a vacation.
Well, I mean, the Lockwoods start their vacations
Click.
on Wednesdays. Yeah.
Do you not regretting
Sergeant
going
Lockwood
even
didn't
earlier?
Plan their vacation around the vacation you planned that you're not even taking.
You should have gone earlier, Hank. You should have taken 2 weeks.
Yeah, I might just not. I might just stay out here.
Well, the good news is you are going to make it back next week for us to golf.
Which I didn't plan, for the record.
Well, you did.
Well, I am planning it now, but you set it up.
No, you set it all up.
No, you
You
set it
said,
up.
do you want to play golf? And I said, sure.
Oh, on Friday.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the Grit Week. Well, yeah, you planned this vacation week, Big Cat.
I know. And I had circumstances that made me not take a vacation. But I planned this vacation week.
Right, and then I was like, hey, like, I know we planned this vacation week. My family's getting together. Do you mind if I take Wednesday? I was like, yeah, no problem. Dude, yeah, of course.
Is that how we said
No,
it?
I'm just happy that you're
Yeah.
happy, Hank, because I'm looking forward to you getting back in the best of moods.
Yeah. And hopefully Jason Tatum plays at least a minute before you get back.
Yeah, I hope so.
This is
I'm
kind of like a
looking
big
forward to it.
vacation for Jason Tatum.
Yeah, that's true.
He's going over France.
Yeah.
Hank.
Get an all expense
Yeah.
paid vacation to France.
His week has been the exact same as Max's.
Yeah. Probably down to how many crepes they've been eating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Hank. Well, any other last words on Jason Tatum? Good job for
No,
Derek White and Jrue Holiday.
Yeah, love those guys. Miss you guys. I miss you guys a lot.
Yeah, it was fun seeing you. You will be part of Mount Rushmore. We taped those last week, so you'll still hear from Hank. But we had to at least check in on. You also turned it off because the Aura conversation came back.
I don't even think I made it that far.
Yeah, the Aura conversation, and
We discussed it, and let's be honest, given what happened today, he lost 1,000 aura.
you can't.
Also, you guys didn't like. No, not
His
me.
aura is at all-time lows right
Oh,
now.
man.
you
Hank,
can't.
did you see him on the
can't
on
get
the
Aura
bench?
on the bench.
He was on the bench
That-
sulking. Oh, actually,
No,
Hank.
no. This is where you're wrong.
Okay.
I'm screaming again. Don't wake the
Don't wake the baby.
baby.
Hank's a father.
The
No, it's his
double
nephew.
uncle.
Double uncle. Oh, double
uncle. What's
Damn.
that?
I have a niece and nephew.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
It's still just a single
One
uncle.
for both.
Uncle of two.
The clip of him shaking his head and chewing the gum on the bench is like that's an Aura clip. That's a
Okay.
when he drops 40, like when he fucking drops 60 on Steve Kerr's dumbass face next year.
Okay.
Aura.
All right. So Hank, is this considered aura when trusted Twitter account NBA Central tweets out Jason Tatum passed 300 Gatorade cups to his teammates, breaking Thanasis Antetokounmpo's record, and then Gatorade replies and says "Man of the people," and then quickly deletes it because
It's
Jason
Jason
Tatum is a Gatorade athlete and it's
no.
making fun of Jason Tatum.
Yeah, Gatorade fucking sucks too. I like body armor.
Okay, fair
Facts.
point. Yeah,
Facts.
good point.
Facts. Okay, well, Hank, thank you, and we'll see you in a few days.
Yeah, see you Friday. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, yeah, for the golf.
Bye, Hank.
Bye, Hank.
Bye.
Okay, that was Henry Lockwood, our good friend, and yeah, Jason Tatum did look sad.
He looked very sad, and I like to just imagine Hank watching the game and being like, okay, here to support my country. Jason's going to get in soon.
Yeah.
And then the first quarter's over. Well, Jason's got to get in and start the second quarter. And then at what point do you opt out of the game?
I mean, Derek White and Drew Holiday did play well, but it is Jason Tatum. I now that Hank is not on, I actually will back him. Like, what the fuck is Steve Kerr doing?
It was a weird move.
Just put him in for 5 minutes just so that so it's not a story right now.
It's a very strange move. And maybe he's going to go with a completely different rotation in game 2 and have Tatum play like the entire time and have somebody else sit out for most of the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what Steve Kerr's up to, but it would be awesome if Steve Kerr was just trying to fuck with the Celtics chemistry right now.
Yeah.
And just piss off their star player.
It was fun watching this team play because they're just so loaded. Like, watching LeBron throw alley-oops to Anthony Edwards is just fun.
Yeah, and I loved LeBron was pissed off today too.
Yeah.
We got old school angry LeBron, which is nice to see. And yeah, it made Jokic look human at times. Although Jokic got whatever he wanted when he was posting up. You can't stop that.
And he also is playing with, I mean, I think Jovic is on an NBA roster, but he's not playing with the guys that LeBron's playing.
Yeah.
It's not really fair.
You think Jokic is going to stop by the equestrian competition for a while?
He's got to.
Just
check out some horses.
He's probably living with the horses.
Dude,
He's probably sleeping in the stables.
Memes was watching it today, and he was like getting a little horny.
About the horses?
No, the women.
Okay.
On the
That's
horses.
better than I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Maybe the
into
horses, too.
the crazy horse girls memes?
Yeah, I found out you could bet on it. It's called dressage.
Yeah, dressage.
Oh, that's where the horses do they crip walk.
Yeah.
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 Either way,
Snoop Dogg was there.
The Olympics have started. It was a wild opening ceremony that I think they've deleted from the internet because it was getting some backlash. It was weird.
The Olympics they're very strange about rights, though. I know every year they shut down Twitter accounts left and right for posting the highlights.
Yeah, I'm saying like the actual Olympics, I think because the opening ceremonies it was basically watching a boat go by and then like a fever dream episode or Zoolander. That was what it was. It was just like guys and girls walking up and down a rain-drenched runway, and then be like, oh, and there is Finland.
Yeah, it was very strange. There was that one part where there was a lady that was holding her head.
Yeah.
And then she started singing, and then Gojira, the heavy metal band, started absolutely rocking out.
Yeah.
That part was kind of cool.
And then they had the blue guy.
The blue guy was weird.
Blue guy was weird. Then they had the horse in the river, the white horse. That was kind of cool. Then they lit the flame, but it wasn't. The Olympic flame, but it really wasn't. It was a balloon.
It was a balloon that went up in the air. Yeah, they had Rafa Nadal carry the torch.
Yeah, that was very bizarre.
Maybe the most cuck behavior that I've ever seen, to have one of your country's rivals as like a prominent figure at the very end. It's like, wasn't Chicago supposed to get the Olympics?
We were in the running for these Olympics. Thank God we didn't get them.
Yeah, that would be like having Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Or Miss O'Leary's cow gets to light the torch.
Yeah, very, very bizarre. I guess because he is like always wins the French Open.
Yeah.
That's it?
That's it, yeah.
He's
French national hero.
I guess
Rafa
he is
Nadal.
kind of like part of French history.
Yeah.
He just wins the French Open. I think that maybe that's what it was.
Like Vietnam gets the Olympics. We're going to have Sylvester Stallone light the torch for his work in Rambo.
Yeah. That's it was I enjoyed it, but it was also very bizarre at times. Then we also had the picture of LeBron on the boat, which was sick.
That was a cool pic. Yeah, it looked like Washington crossing the Delaware.
Yeah.
Just leading the charge. Him and was it Coco Gauff, right?
Coco Gauff.
The other flag bearer.
Yeah.
I get sick of all the countries, though. There's too many countries.
There's a lot of countries.
Can we make less countries in the world?
Well, it's also kind of sucks when you don't have enough athletes and you had to share the boat with like 3 other countries.
Yeah,
that was a little bit of a cuck behavior.
That's really rough.
Yeah. Okay. What else in the sports world? We have MLB Trade Deadline is this week.
Hot stove week.
Hot stove week. The Yankees made a move. The Cubs made a move, who are not buyers.
The Mariners made a move.
Mariners made a move.
I feel like the Mariners could do something.
Yeah, they've
got good pitching.
Yeah, they're a good team. I mean, they've never done anything, but they're a good team.
They've got good pitching. Now maybe they have some hitting.
Yeah. The Cubs move was very much some people are upset because it looks like they're buyers. They got Paredes from the Rays, who is under contract for 3 years. So I kind of like it because it's not
a rental. Yeah.
It's not there's no rentals. If they did a rental, I'd be very upset. It's trying to build, basically like get early into free agency.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got who Jazz is on the Yankees now. Jazz Chisholm.
Yeah. I'm familiar with his
I just
game.
saw a bunch of Yankees fans being like, he doesn't solve a lot of problems, but his name is really cool.
Yeah, there was that.
And that is true.
Yeah. There was that great do you see that catch in the outfield that wasn't in the Red Sox-Yankees game this weekend?
No.
The dude jumped into the stands, caught the ball, and as he's falling, the right fielder, as he's falling into the crowd, he bumps his glove on a Yankee fan. The ball drops, and it's a home run.
Ooh.
It's fucking wild.
That is wild. Have the Mets done anything, memes?
The Mets traded for Jesse Winker
Okay.
from the Nationals, and then they also got a pitcher who got lit up today.
Ryan Stanek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Austin Riley pimped one.
Yeah. And I think Max had his moment where he thought he was getting Mike Trout, which was fun.
Yeah.
The Phillies, Jeff Passan tweeted that the Phillies traded like their top 2 prospects to the Angels for help. And it was, I think, just a pitcher they got.
Yeah, it's Mike Trout. I don't know if he would want to play in Philly.
I think he'd want to.
He likes football season too much.
I think he'd be like, great, I've been wearing a Phillies jersey underneath my Angels jersey every game. So
I think he loves Philadelphia, but there's probably something nice to him about just not having to worry about expectations at all.
Yeah. I know what's going to happen, by the way. The Cubs just getting any new name in the trade deadline, even though it's not a rental, I'm going to convince myself, like, oh, they might get hot.
I mean, you just get in the playoffs.
Pitching
and then
is good.
Weird shit happens in the playoffs.
Yeah. I forgot to say, so Embiid was the other story from the basketball game, and we had Max send us a video because he's in Europe. We didn't want him to zoom in. It's like 4 a.m. there, but we asked Max to please address the fact that Embiid sucks. So here's Max.
All right, I'm here in Paris.
Nice game of work, Max.
Embiid may not have had his best game, but I didn't watch it because I was in my French hotel, and for some reason they were playing men's French volleyball. So I don't really know what to say. All I can really say is
he outside
that
the Moulin Rouge right now?
they at least played the game. You got to give someone credit for wanting to go out there and represent the country of the USA. Can't say that about everyone else on the court. Can't say that about everyone else on the court. And he's got to shoot more. And Jokic had a much worse half in the second half than he did in the first half. So there are positives. We can build off this. It's just game 1. It's a long tournament. Embiid will be the elite self that he is. We'll be fine. Jason Tatum sucks. No aura.
Okay, so it's not really a long term. It's 2 weeks. But this is one of those times, PFT, where I realize it just pays to be us and such tremendous losers because we're making Hank and Max answer for their players. Hank has 3 players from his team on the court, but we're making them answer for their players sucking when we wouldn't even come close to coming close to having a guy on the court for one of our teams.
And so I pointed out, I made a meme.
Actually, Josh Giddey was really awesome for Australia. He was.
I made a meme earlier, and it was the Drake when he was wearing the UK, the Kentucky outfit, and people said, bro thinks he's on the team. It was Jason Tatum just on the sidelines wearing Team USA. He thinks he's on the team. Somebody responded to me, and they said, can you even name your top 5 Wizards in franchise history? And that I thought about it, and I was like, this is actually a fair point.
Yeah.
It's a good problem to have, I guess. But what we've successfully done is Hank and Max are so beaten down by us going after Tatum's aura, which is a made-up thing that doesn't actually exist.
Correct.
But it pisses them off. And then Embiid not winning championships, they're so mad about that they just turn on each other instead.
Right.
So Max's whole thing was just like, Jason Tatum wasn't on the court. He has no aura. At least Embiid was on the court.
Yeah.
And Hank's whole thing was at least he didn't get on the court and embarrass himself like Embiid. So we've done a great job as puppet masters
of pitting
having our little marionettes They should turn on us and unite to fight against us, but they're just at each other's throats, which is beautiful.
We can't let them ever figure out that they could fight against us.
No.
Because once that day happens, like if they unionize against us, we're fucked.
Yeah, but they also naturally hate each other.
Yeah, they hate each other, and I mean, it's one of those things that when if you just put us in the arena with either of them in a debate, it falls apart very quickly for them.
So there was one other thing about the Olympics that I wanted to make note of, and that was, did you see the Bob the cap catcher guy?
Awesome.
Okay, so Bob the cap catcher, one of the swimmers lost her swim cap.
Yes.
In the pool. They had to delay the start of the next race because there was a swim cap on the bottom of the pool, and the swimmers aren't allowed to get in there and get it out themselves. So they call this random dude out. They said he's an Olympic official. He comes out wearing a multicolored Speedo, and he's got, I guess, dad bod would be a fair way to describe his body.
Yes.
He doesn't look like an Olympic athlete. He's not in bad shape, but he's not like...
He doesn't have an Olympic body.
Yeah, he's not chiseled out of marble.
Yeah.
And so Bob comes out in a Speedo, dives in, gets the cap, goes to the sideline, holds it up. The announcers go nuts for him. It was a very cool moment, but then I started to think about it. Are we being played?
Why?
Should we stay woke on Bob the cap
You think
catcher?
it was just a viral moment that they were trying to
A
get?
viral moment planted, or maybe he's like working for an advertising firm and he's like a mascot of some company. Are they trying to incept us into viral moments?
Do they name dudes Bob in France?
That's a great point.
I think it would just be
Robert.
Robert.
It'd be Robert.
Yeah. There's no way there's anyone in France that's a French national that's Bob.
Bob. No, it's Robert.
Bob, yeah.
It would be Robert, and they would never dream of shortening it to Rob. And they had the fucking minions in the opening ceremony doing advertising work for Disney.
Oh, by the way, Peyton Manning just being on the opening ceremony, that was weird.
Yeah.
I was just watching. I was like, is that Peyton Manning's voice?
I don't want to share my football players with the rest of the world.
No.
They don't get to know about all the cool stuff that we watch that they don't get to watch.
I do like the fact the Olympics, though, because there's so many sports, they really have to stretch it thin on announcers. So you had Peyton Manning. I think Kelly Clarkson was on it. Dwayne Wade did the USA game today. Dwayne Wade, I thought he did a fine job. You don't need a catchphrase for every moment. He was trying to do, if he does his pronouns are he, him for LeBron one more time, I'm going to put a bullet in my head.
It was bad.
He's done that so many goddamn times.
That part was really bad.
He did one good, he has one good line, and he's like, I'm just going to fucking keep doing it.
I feel like they'll get better. They did an okay job.
No, I thought
I like the
Dwayne Wade
announcing.
as on in totality was fine. It's more that like you could tell he's trying to do catchphrases on every moment. It's like it's fine. We're good.
Yeah.
And Noah Eagle, like I don't know how his voice sounds like he's been doing it for 50 years, but it's insane.
Yeah, it's a big game voice.
Yeah.
And then Mike Tirico was doing the opening ceremonies. That to me that feels like that would be a very hard thing to announce.
Yeah.
Like all the countries and shit and getting all the timing right. And
yeah.
Meanwhile, you feel like you're on acid because you have a horse running across the water.
And Peyton Manning and Kelly Clarkson sitting on either side of you.
Yeah. They bring out the weirdest celebrities for the Olympics.
Yeah.
It's really strange how they go, the people with like the highest Q scores that were super popular 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's what
it
they
is.
go to.
It is. So that's the Olympics. We'll talk about more Olympics as the games progress. I think we already won a gold medal, right?
Yeah, we got a gold.
Got a gold in the 100 meter.
Yeah.
Caleb Dressel, recurring guest.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
great dude.
So was he the guy that we got into the debate with over whether the pool was blue or the water's blue?
I believe so.
What did we figure out about that?
I don't think we got an answer to it. We gotta restart that. Here's the medals race. Okay.
USA.
Yes. Oh, we have
number one.
3 golds. Where'd we get all our golds? Did we dominate the Summer Olympics? This is a fucking joke.
Was
These
it
guys
like
try so hard.
the swimming events?
I think it was swimming. I think we won. We won fence. We won a gold in fencing. Shout out JOC. He laid the groundwork. Swimming. Katie Ledecky finished 3rd though.
Yeah, that was tough to watch.
That's bad.
Did you see the Taiwanese diver that landed on his back?
No.
That dude rocks.
I got to see that. That's the other thing is, like you said, they don't let you share highlights.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't really see anything. You just got to be tuned in.
Well, that
I guess
one.
that's what they're trying to do, but it would be nice to be able to see some highlights.
I think that that U.S. women's rugby could win the gold medal because they've got Ilona Mayer, who she had 2 all-time truck stick runs. She's like Lady Rob Gronkowski.
That's awesome.
I think it was the top play on SportsCenter tonight, but she's fucking awesome and she's just a tank running people over. So maybe we'll get a gold medal from that in rugby. I'll count that as just rugby being back if our ladies can get one.
Olympics are fun. Olympics are fun. Free sports. All right, wait. Oh, was it was it a Taiwanese or was it? It was the Philip. I think
It was a Filipino diver?
Yeah, the guy who just like smashed his back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was sick.
And then South Sudan won in basketball. Shout out Luol Deng.
Luol Deng's got that program going the right
Humming.
direction. We got to play him on Tuesday. Okay. Anything else sports-wise? Reminder, again, takeys are on Wednesday. Great takeys coming up. 28 awards. Very excited for that. All right, let's do Who's Back of the Week. It is brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Did you know you can get tickets to the Cubs-Cardinals this weekend? $35. You can see our new third baseman. That's right, with Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You shouldn't have to worry when you buy tickets to your next big event. Game Time is a fast and easy way to buy tickets to all of the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. They have flash deals for sudden discounts, zone deals for when you're feeling flexible, and their lowest price guarantee means that if you can find the same seats for less anywhere else, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Game Time is the best place for last-minute seats with up to 60% off your favorite events. What are you waiting for? I'm going to buy those tickets right now. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed with Game Time. Pardon my take is also presented by BetterHelp. When your schedule is packed with kids, activities, big work projects, and more, it's easy to let your priorities slip. Even when we know that what makes us happy, it's hard to make time for it. But when you feel like you have no time for yourself, non-negotiables like therapy are more important than ever. So if you've benefited from therapy, you know it's so important to make sure that you take care of your mentals, and BetterHelp is there for you. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/PMT today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/PMT. Go check it out today and make sure you're taking care of your mentals this year. Everyone should be doing it. Even if you don't think you have anything wrong, it's always good to talk to someone, and you can do that with betterhelp.com/PMT. Okay, Who's Back of the Week? We're going to do the Mount Rushmore on the other side of the John Elway interview. Like I said, when Hank was on, Hank and Max, we already recorded that, so they will be part of it. They're not going to miss Mount Rushmore.
After school snacks.
Yeah, after school snacks, which was very funny. PFT, your Who's Back of the Week?
My Who's Back of the Week is Spygate.
Oh.
But this time it's Canadian.
Oh.
The Canadian women's soccer team has sent their coach home. Their assistant coach and technical analyst have also been sent home. They have been docked 6 points in the group stage, which is equivalent to 2 wins.
So they're out.
No, they're not out.
But 6 points is they're going to be out.
They won their first 2 games.
Oh, so they're back to 0?
So if they win their third game, I think they qualify for the next round.
Wow.
They have to win all 3. But their coach, it was against New Zealand. So New Zealand was practicing, and the coach hears like a whir in the background. He looks up in the sky. There's a fucking drone there. It's like one of those Ukrainian-Russian videos that they force feed us on Twitter now. But he sees the drone, notifies the people at the Olympics. The officials look into it. They find the footage. It's a Canadian drone, and apparently they've been doing this going back years. Back in like World Cups, they've been spygating on people's practices.
Wow.
So they got caught, but then now they're on a fuck you tour, and they're beating everybody. So if they win their next game, I'm pretty sure they automatically qualify for the next one.
So this is a dumb question. What do you spy on for soccer?
Just formations, I guess.
They're running fast down the field.
Yeah,
Don't let them pass to that person.
This person's. It looks like they're really, really hurt. Oh no, wait, they just got up. They're fine.
I guess they're set pieces.
Yeah, you could spy probably on set pieces and just formations. That's probably all you get.
Got it.
And they've been doing this going back years, but it was funny because you could look at where they were alleged to have used the drone and then the result of the game, and they were getting their ass kicked with the drone.
Oh.
So it wasn't like they were actually
wasn't working
that much from, but they still were trying to drone. They were getting their Obama on.
I kind of like that.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Yeah. And it's also like, I don't know, soccer, drones, just do it.
Yeah. I mean, I am in favor of trying to get an edge wherever you can.
Yeah. That's very, very brazen.
Yeah.
Just be like, here's a drone over your practice.
I hope they don't see it.
Yeah. Okay, my who's back of the week is Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer's back. I just saw that he has an update to his brew house, Urban Meyer's brew house. He has a Mexican-style lager. Do you know the name of it?
No.
Oh.
Triple X?
No.
Okay.
It's called El Lager.
El
Lager. No, E-L.
Oh,
Lager.
El Lager.
The
Okay.
lager.
That's great. That's
You
great. I
also-
love that. That sounds like what Budweiser would put on one of their can of beers, like the NBA does during Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yeah, exactly. El Lager.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker, PFT.
Don't say kick around, Urban.
Yeah, that's true. He took a picture with I guess his co-owner, some gentleman at his brew house where they sell El Lager. He's wearing the exact same polo as the famous Knight, and you can't see where his right hand is. So Urban Meyer might just be putting his fingers up buttholes again.
Urban Meyer is probably a swinger.
Yeah,
I can see that. You remember when he was on that boat, right? And he was doing an interview.
Oh yeah,
and that guy, the shirtless guy, was just walking around in the background.
Yeah, he's got his. You can't see where his right hand is, and he's taking a picture with 4 gentlemen, and the gentleman to his right has the biggest smile of anyone in the picture.
He's getting goosed.
Yeah, and I don't think that's just the El Lager talking.
El Lager. Where is his brew house?
I think it's in Columbus.
I might have to stop by.
The Lager.
I'm going to be in Columbus on Friday. I'm
you should do it.
going to do a little fact-finding tour.
Just do an El Lager review.
I'll do a beer review of El Lager.
El Lager. I just love it. It's like the laziest name you could come up with.
El. Also, the fact that you're calling it El is just red meat for Michigan fans.
Oh, yeah. Huey, your who's back of the week?
My who's back? Swimming rivalries.
Oh.
I feel like we haven't had a good swimming rivalry since Michael Phelps days, and Ryan Lochte. Who could forget Ian Crocker? Chad Lacrosse.
Yeah, the torpedo.
Yeah, Ian Thorpe.
Yeah. So now Katie Ledecky's having a couple rivalries that have just beat her in the 400 meter. Ariane Titmus, it's like Christmas but for tits.
Yep.
From Australia. She's the Aussie. She won the 400 meter by 3 full seconds, which
That seems like a long time.
Yeah, it's not nothing. It's not nothing. Now, Katie Ledecky is still favored in the 800 meter at a minus 400 and favored in the 1500 meter at a minus 3500. But, 3 seconds is 3 seconds. That could be another 100 meters.
I'm just going to say, I am a fan of Ariane Titmus.
Yeah, the Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
Yeah.
I got a take I'll throw out there about swimming. Michael Phelps ruined swimming for me, personally.
Why?
That's fair.
Because he was so goddamn dominant and it happened so recently that I'm watching swimming and I'm like, well, Phelps would have beaten all these guys.
Yeah. Do they do the line where it's like, here's where Phelps would have been?
They should, because it's like, you know what I mean? It's we saw it so recently, him just dominate everyone every single year after year. And then to watch it now, they're still incredible athletes, but it's like Michael Phelps is in the studio right now. Like, he probably could get in the pool and beat all of you right this second if he wanted to.
If he had grown up in this era.
Yeah.
With this technology. Do we have any?
I think there just needs to be more time, or someone needs to start breaking Phelps' record for me to feel like, oh, wow, this is incredible what we're watching. Because every time I just watch maybe there have been records broken of his, but I just watch it, I'm like, Phelps would have fucking killed him.
Do we have any good Olympic controversies? It feels like every time there's like a Summer Olympic Games, there's a controversy about like a new suit somebody's wearing, or about like a new bike helmet.
No.
And then they go back and they're like, do these records even count because this water was faster?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the springy track.
Yeah, the springy track.
I learned one the other day that's pretty fun. In the Tour de France, there's a thing called sticky bottles. Have you ever heard this?
No.
So this is like a big cheating thing. There was a guy basically as angry as the Tour de France can get. That's what it was. He confronted a competitor and said, "You sticky bottled that." It's when the car passes a bottle to the guy who's biking, and the guy who's biking holds onto the bottle for like an extra beat and gets driven by the car.
Because the guy that's taking the water back
Correct.
is pulling him in the car.
So they'll pass the they'll pass the bottle out like this.
Yeah.
And they'll grab it and basically like use the push off.
That's smart.
Yeah, sticky bottles. I don't know. It's just a fun controversy I learned about.
Can you draft the car? Can you accidentally swerve in front of the car and let it hit you lightly from behind? And
I don't
just
think
nudge
you
you
can
up
do that.
a little bit.
But I would sticky bottle the fuck out of the Tour de France.
Yeah, that's just a good idea. I don't blame the cyclists at all. At least they're not using steroids anymore.
Well, and they also the best part about the confrontation that I watched, it wasn't in English, but I saw someone explained it. One guy was like, "You sticky bottled," and then the other guy who was being accused was like, "Where do you think I learned it?" Basically being like, "You're the sticky bottle master."
Yeah, it takes one to know one.
Yeah.
I saw you do it first.
Yeah.
I do love cyclist fights too.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen when they actually like try to throw hands?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It's not
They're-
not really a fight.
They're in the realm of athletes that as soon as they get in a fight, they just start to try to kick,
Yeah.
and you know that's just
You do like a flying leg kick because then you know at least the fight's over after you do that because
Yeah.
somebody will jump on you on the ground and cover you up.
yeah. All right, good job, Huey. Memes, you got a who's back?
Sure.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh yeah.
He is playing Doctor Doom.
Okay, so first of all, insult stat that I saw was very mean. They were like Robert Downey Jr. between the time he was announced as Iron Man and the time he was announced as Doctor Doom, the Bears have only won one playoff game. That was mean of that person. I don't even know what that time frame is.
When was
well,
Robert
I do
Downey
know the
Jr.?
time frame because I know how many Bears
Like
playoffs.
2006.
Yeah, it was after they've won one game. But what are explain this to me, memes and PFT. He was Iron Man.
Yes.
Is he now Doctor Doom in the same universe? So, like, wouldn't the characters say, "Hey, dude, aren't you Tony Stark?"
Yeah, so the last Avengers movie, there was the next phase of Marvel, which was the multiverse, where they could go into there's different versions of each character in different universes. Now, the bad guy they made the entire plot around, like dozens of movies, beat his girlfriend. So now he's out.
And Robert Downey Jr., for the record, has never done anything wrong.
Not recently.
Not since he's been Iron Man.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So
That's a funny little wrinkle there.
Did Marvel just trick America into doing Greek mythology? Because I feel like
Pretty much.
this is our
Nerds.
version of Greek
Yeah.
mythology, right? Like
Yeah.
2,000 years from now, there'll be a society and they're going to unearth all these old Marvel movies and be like, "This is what Americans believed in." They
Yeah.
thought that there was a giant dude that snapped its fingers and would kill everybody.
And then Ant-Man will be like the weird question no one gets right.
Yeah,
I just love that there's an Ant-Man. They made a movie. Paul Rudd, right?
yeah. Didn't he fly up some dude's butt
I don't know.
and explode?
The minute I saw Ant-Man, I was like, this has gone too far. All right, so
No, I can see fifth graders in like the year 4000 studying Marvel and being like, "This is what Americans believe.
Yeah.
this is what they were up to."
I actually might start, because we talked about it on that Mount Rushmore things we hadn't seen. I've never seen a Marvel movie. I might start with Ant-Man.
Go
Just go from there.
Go
Yeah.
straight from Ant-Man.
Go to Ant-Man. All right, so back to Doctor Doom, who is original Doctor Doom got in trouble. Robert Downey Jr. squeaky clean. He takes over Doctor Doom. But again, won't people be like, "Dude, wasn't that Tony Stark?"
Yeah, so the prediction is that this is an alternate universe Tony Stark, who's a bad Iron Man that's Doctor Doom.
Oh, it's like twin brothers.
So he still is Iron Man.
Yes, pretty much.
And
Just
who is Doctor Doom?
Doctor Doom.
Is he related to Big Justice, the Doom and Boom guys?
No, afraid not. He
Okay.
is the bad guy in Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Okay, so what does he do?
No relation to the Rizzler.
No relation.
Okay.
Does he have any powers?
He's just a badass made out of metal.
Okay, and people are excited about this, right?
Yeah, people are pumped
I'm excited about this too. Can't wait.
because
Very
they scrapped everything and then they brought back Robert Downey Jr. The Russo brothers are directing it, who directed the last two Avengers. Everything's been bad up until this point.
Wait,
Now
it's gone
they're
bad?
Yeah, this last phase of Marvel has been very bad.
Well, did they run out of source material? Or are they still using like the comic books?
They're kind of using the comic books, but they dove into the multiverse, which has just gotten very confusing. And now they're trying to bring it all back and save it.
Got it.
Okay. I can't wait for Doctor Doom. I'm fucking jazzed.
Yeah, Doctor Doom / Tony Stark. Okay. Thanks, meme.
Gotcha.
I'm excited. I'm excited to not watch it, but I'm excited for other people to be excited. Were people excited?
People are pumped. He got a big pop.
He did. Okay.
I'm excited for people to watch it and then be pissed off about it because they thought it would be good and then it's not good.
Yeah, I want
That's always
people to
my
be
thing.
mad. I want
Yeah.
people to complain about the casting of a movie.
I'm excited.
That's the best.
I'm excited to see people pissed off walking out of movie theaters being like, that was not a realistic portrayal of Dr. Doom.
Yeah, isn't there a Bob Dylan biopic coming out? People are pissed about that one.
Who's playing him?
That's why people are pissed.
Wait, who would be the person that would piss off the most people playing? Robert Pattinson?
No, it's one of the new guys, the new Timothée Chalamet.
Okay.
Yeah. This is pop culture with PMT.
We got our finger on the pulse, baby.
I need my kids to start fucking watching shit that they can actually help me be cool again.
Like Marvel stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's too confusing for me.
It's way too.
After I missed the first 5 movies, I was like, I'm just not going to do
We
this.
should have Robbie just make us a big chart. If I could see a chart, I think it would help. But there's been so many movies.
There's just a timeline of movies when they came out. I also need to.
We should sneak attack everyone and just go into a bunker and watch every single one, and then just come out and just start heavy drops of it's like this time in this movie.
Yeah.
Be like, what the fuck just happened?
I've been doing that for the last 3 episodes. I've been dropping Godfather quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still haven't seen it,
But
I've been looking up the quotes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get to our interview with John Elway.
Before we get to John Elway, is brought to you by our good friends over at Shady Rays. Get ready for the season with official sunglasses brand of Barstool Sports, Shady Rays. It's sunglasses season, and our friends have you covered with their newest and boldest premium polarized shades. They're kicking off their most anticipated release of 2024 with a limited edition debut of the Rival Collection. It's a new single lens style in Barstool Blue. It's got a premium Stool and Stars lens etch. And if you're looking for something more casual, the classics are also getting the Barstool treatment. Both of these styles are perfect for all-day, everyday comfort and performance. They have hundreds of options to choose from, so you're bound to find the perfect pair for your style. If you don't love your shades, exchange them for a new pair, or you can return them worry-free within 30 days. There's no risk with Shady Rays. Their team always has your back with personal and fast support. Head to ShadyRays.com. Use code PMT. Get 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. They're the best sunglasses in the entire world. And they've been rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. John L was also brought to you by Verizon. It's the best time of year for football fans. The NFL is finally back. And this season, Verizon wants to help you win Sunday. What does that mean? It means getting your team's games every Sunday afternoon, even if you don't live in Market. Personally, as a Commanders fan living in Chicago, there's nothing better than sitting down on my couch on a Sunday afternoon, turning on the TV, and having my team's game right there waiting for me. That's a win. Maybe get roped into some Sunday plans like brunch with your not really sports people in-laws, or apple picking, wine tasting, or whatever else people who don't watch football do on weekends. With Verizon, wherever your Sunday takes you, you can bring your teams along with you right there on your phone, so you don't have to miss a moment of an out-of-market Sunday game, even in the middle of some pumpkin patch. That's a win too. And for the 2024 season, Verizon is going to hook you up with an awesome deal on Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. You can spend your Sunday afternoons watching your teams at your place on your TV, on your phone when you're on the go. And even if your team doesn't go undefeated, at least with Verizon and NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube, you're still winning on Sunday. Go to Verizon.com, get an awesome deal on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Check it out. And now here's John Elway.
Okay, we now welcome on a very, very, very special guest. It is our Chill Week interviews presented by Coors Light and Chevy Silverado. It is NFL Hall of Famer John Elway, living legend. I gotta tell you this, John, just to start. We've been doing this for 8 years now. We've had a ton of different guys come through and great interviews. You're up there with maybe a little nerves because you are such a living legend. Do you realize how much of a living legend you are?
No, I'm still looking out from these same eyes as I did my whole life.
Okay.
So no, I think that I was happy to be able to play as long as I played, and fortunate, very very fortunate, but no, I'm still looking at it the same eyes, and so enjoying life, and glad to be here with you guys.
Yeah, I think what Big Cats get at too, and at least for me, is growing up when I fell in love with football. You were football.
Yeah.
You were a huge part of the NFL. And so those formative years where we fell in love with the game, that was John Elway.
Yeah.
I was watching John Elway comebacks.
We're children of the 90s.
Unfortunately, that's a long time ago, but it was a lot of fun while I played. I played in a great era.
Yeah.
Danny Marino, Jim Kelly, Warren Moon, all those guys. It was Joe Montana. So, I mean, we had a bevy of great quarterbacks back then. It was really a special times to play. Obviously they're making a heck of a lot more money now, but I'm not sure I would trade that. I really enjoyed playing the time when I played and with the guys I played with.
Well, have you ever thought about, like, today's day and age in the NFL, guys are passing for such insane numbers? What your numbers would have looked like if you were? It would have been crazy.
Not only that, I look at how they get protected now. They get protected a heck of a lot more now than we did back when we played. So I think I'd enjoy that even probably more than the money, and maybe played a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But the game has just kept growing and growing, and the players and athletes are getting so good now, and and with the offenses opening up and the protection. Rules that they're putting in to protect some of the players I think is all a good thing. But, it just continues to keep growing and growing.
Yeah. So PFT mentioned us falling in love with football in the 90s. When did you fall in love with football? I know you're a son of a coach, so you were around it your whole life. But when was the first moment where you're like, this is the sport I love? Because obviously we'll talk about it. You're an incredible baseball player. But when was it football?
When I was younger, because my dad was a coach, like you said, so we kind of bounced around. I lived in Missoula, Montana when I was like 1st through 5th grade. So I didn't start playing. I played baseball and basketball a lot. Tackle football didn't start until I was in the 5th grade. I played 1 year of 5th grade in Missoula, Montana. I was a running back, and then we moved from there to Pullman, Washington, at Washington State. And they really didn't have – Pullman's not big enough to have a youth football program. And so I didn't play again until the 9th grade. Excuse me. So really my favorite sport when I was younger was basketball.
Really?
Yeah, I
I'm sure you were great at that too.
And I could shoot, but I slowed down fast, and then and then baseball was a big part of that too. And so then Dad got fired at Washington State. We moved down to Southern California, and in the San Fernando Valley, I went to Granada Hills High School, and the coach there, his name was Jack Newmeyer, was kind of the offense was wide open. He spread the field with 5 wides and threw the ball every down. And so really, when you talk about when I first fell in love with football, was my 10th grade year when I started playing quarterback. I played 9th grade year in Pullman, which was a single wing, handed the ball off. So it wasn't a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
But then when I got down to California, we started throwing the football all over the place. And that's when I started loving football.
Started slinging it. I read a very funny story that in your 9th grade year, when you showed up for the first day of practice, your dad in the car said, "What position are you going to play?" And you said running back, and he was like, "You're not as fast as you used to be," which is an insane thing to say to a 13-year-old.
Well, we were in an old Chevy Impala, and we pulled up, and that's exactly what he said. "What position are you going out for today?" I said, "Running back." And the car went into park. And 15 minutes later, when I got out of the car, I was a quarterback. But that was one of the comments was the fact to say, "Listen, you're slowing down a little bit. I think you're probably better off trying to play some quarterback. I think it's a better position for you." So
it's just. I guess that speaks to your relationship with your dad. The honesty was there that he could be like, "You're not that fast anymore."
Yeah, how fast were you at 12?
Well, I could, when I was younger, I was faster than everybody, but then everybody caught up, right? Especially when you start growing, they start catching up to you. So, and he had a good feel for it, and I respected him so much. So, sure enough, I went out for quarterback, and that's one of those forks in the roads. The thing is, they get fired at Washington State, and he went for the head job. Because he graduated from Washington State, went to school there, went undergrad, and he was the runner-up for the job. And thank God he didn't get that job. Otherwise, I'd probably been a baseball player, and because the high school ran the single wing, and so would never been exposed to what I got exposed to when we went down to Southern California in football.
Wow, yeah, probably a good choice. So when you're playing quarterback, you had great wheels. You were still fast even at 13, 14, 15 years old.
I was as fast as I needed to be.
Yeah. Yes.
But I feel like in that era, coaches were more hesitant to have their quarterbacks run around out there. Or maybe it's different in high school where they said, "Okay, if you see a play, go make a play."
Right.
Or did you ever have a coach whether it be in high school or in college, that was like, "Hey, John, stop running the ball so much. You're going to get hurt"?
No, I think that they said be smart. And the fact that because that was part of my game. I like to move around and try to make some plays if I had to, and if protection broke down, then I like to get outside and do those type of things. But, they always, impressed on me that say, "Listen, get out there and do what you want to do, but just be safe and take care of yourself." And so, and back in those days, you could go feet first, right? I never went feet first because I always felt more wide open to a hit, a late hit or a cheap hit, cheap shot that, it knocked me out with me just being exposed like that. So I always tried to go down and just use my head and my shoulders and felt more protected. Plus, going down feet first, I always figured you lost like 3 yards compared to going head first.
That's
and
true.
So I just go for their feet and do it that way.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most iconic plays in NFL history is the helicopter in the Super Bowl against the Packers. How many times did you? Well, let me first say, when that play is happening, were you like, I'm gonna get fucking crushed here? It was 3 Packers coming at you, and you were like, I'm just going head first.
You know, there's a funny story about that play. It was 3rd and 6, and we'd run that play all week in practice. And I told Mike Shanahan and Gary Kubiak was the offensive coordinator, and I'm like, it was set up for a certain defense. And I really didn't like the play in practice, but we kept running it, and I kept telling Mike, I really don't like that play. And he finally came to me and he said, John, against this formation, in this situation, it's 100% we're going to get this coverage. I said, okay, great. And I think it was both corners had to be bumped, safety over the middle, da-da-da. I can't remember exactly how it was set up. But sure enough, I walked to the line of scrimmage, and they're not in that defense. So I know I've got nothing. So I just really kind of dropped back and tried to find a seam, get outside, try to make a play. And I looked for the first down marker, and they kind of stayed back. And I said, all right, I'm going to turn this thing up and see how far I can get. And then I said, all right, well, I think they think I'm going down low, so I put the big old 6-inch vertical on them and went right over the top.
Do you remember being in air, being like, whoa, this is
crazy? Because I got discombobulated because I got spun around. And the one thing I do remember is I looked to our sideline, and our whole sideline was going nuts. And so the adrenaline rush that came from that I still get chills when I
it was one of the coolest plays ever.
Yeah. The funny thing is a lot of people think it was for a touchdown. It's not. It was just for a first down. We ended up scoring on that drive, but obviously with where that game ended up, it was a pivotal play.
You should get residual checks too, because I feel like the NFL used it in every highlight package for the next 20 years.
That would be nice if they had those. Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't have those yet.
Yeah, it was a great game. I remember those 2 Super Bowls, and one of the key parts of your offensive line, good friend of ours, Mark Schlereth, comes on the show a lot. He was actually my Little League baseball coach.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's because he was in D.C., then he went out to Colorado. So you signed this, a good free agent guard coming out from Washington, Super Bowl champion, comes out there. You're probably excited to have a great player on your offensive line, but was there a small party that was like, why does this guy just piss on himself all the time? Like,
stinks.
This guy just smells so bad.
I was just thrilled he wasn't a center.
Yeah.
Because I'd had to put my hands underneath him. But yeah, I mean, that was that's probably why he got the name Stink too, because of the fact that he would do that. But yeah, it was always amazing to me that he would do that.
Just all the time, just like a fountain.
Weirdest segue ever, but we're saying the word stink. I read that you also, the only sport you ever quit was wrestling in 8th grade because you wrestled against a kid who smelled really bad.
He smelled really bad.
So how bad did he smell?
It was bad, because my dad always said, once you start something, you're going to finish it, right? So he'd never let me quit anything, and he said, and he'd try to say, I don't think you ought to do this, but no, Dad, I want to do it. Then I get in it and realize, he was right again, but I had to finish it, and so. And he wasn't a big fan of wrestling either, and so, but yeah, I had to practice against him every day, and it wasn't like we were in matches against him. It was like I had to wrestle against him every single day. So he finally let me, and he smelled really bad. So to where I was gagging. I'm like, Dad, I'm gagging. I can't do this. You gotta let me.
And you told your dad that you're like, listen, it's not that I am not tough enough for it. It's like this kid just smells so bad. I can't do it.
I can't. I gag while I'm practicing, so I can't do it anymore. He said, all right, this is the one time I'm gonna let you do it.
Yeah, that's incredible.
You could have gained 10 pounds, been outside his weight class. You don't have to wrestle.
We're the only 2 biggest guys in the class, so that's why I was stuck with him. The other guys were little small guys, and so we couldn't do that.
That's incredible. So we're talking about your Super Bowls. The crazy part about your career is, in sports media, there's the whole can't win the big one. You go to 3 Super Bowls early in your career, and then it's 8-year gap till you win 2 to end your career. Storybook ending. Like I think when everyone thinks about like what they want to do to end their career, it's John Elway. That's what you think of, back-to-back Super Bowls. But in that progression, was there ever a moment where you're like, maybe I'm not going to win the big one?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of time in there. I think obviously we had really good teams in the 80s. We weren't good enough. You got to be really, really good to win a championship. And I think I found that difference out when I finally won one in the late 90s compared to what we were in the 80s. But, yeah, there was a time in those 8 years where we're kind of changing coaches. Dan Reeves left, and I think Wade Phillips came in. And was there for a couple of years, and then Mike Shanahan ended up coming back. And so, but there was a dry spell there. We were about 500. We're still making the playoffs, but, didn't have a chance to really compete for a championship. And then when Mike came back in 95, we turned things around. Terrell Davis, we drafted Terrell Davis that year, and Mike was, run with, with play action off that, and then real good in the pass game. So we had a good year in 95, and then 96, we had a really good team. We had the number 1 seed wrapped up. We were playing Jacksonville. Jacksonville was coming to Denver, and that we thought, that was the year I'm going, we got a chance to win this. And then we end up getting beat by Jacksonville, upset in the first round. And so I think that was the most devastating loss other than the Super Bowl losses. And then at that point in time, you start wondering, what's it going to take? And I know, at that point in time, I was 36 years old, and so I was running out of time. And so whether we're going to ever be able to get back, but fortunately we came back and kind of used that the next year as incentive. And we went through the hard way, right? Because Kansas City won the division. We went in as a wild card, really. And so Jacksonville came in the next year. We got another shot at them. And then we had to go to Kansas City and Pittsburgh to get back. And then we're playing the Packers that, we're defending champs. We're 14-point underdogs, and we're going to that game. And I can remember getting on the plane. We're leaving Pittsburgh, going back to Denver. And I get on the plane going back, and I call my mom. I said, Mom, can you believe we get a chance to go back and be world champions again? And there's a long pause. And she finally says, do we really have to go back to the Super Bowl again?
Because it was not good memories the first 3 times. So do you think the Jaguars, because I've watched some of the NFL film stuff about those Broncos teams, and it feels like that Jaguars loss was almost the reason why you guys were able to get over the hump the next 2 years, because it was a game that you should have won. You guys were way better and maybe didn't take them as seriously as you should have, and that's like the last piece of a championship team.
Yeah, there's no question it added a lot. I think that it was stuck in everybody's craw for the next year, and so there's no question that plus even going back into the next year, and then 98 when we come back after the Packer game, we knew we were a really good football team, and our attitude was always, if we just go play like we're capable of, we're going to beat everybody. And that's really fun to be on a team like that, especially when you have a running game like we had and played really good defense. And so that's what happened in 98. We were really good in 98, 13-0 until we got beat by the Giants in week 14, I think. And so on a late bomb to, I can't remember who it was, but so then we go to Miami, get killed down there, bounce back, and then get to the playoffs.
Yeah, his storybook ended.
So you mentioned the point spread. 14 points in the Super Bowl. That's a big point spread. It really was it must have felt like you against the world. Did you guys use that as motivation? Like Vegas doesn't believe in us?
We did, but you know what? I also think because of the trek we made through the playoffs, having to go to Kansas City and having to go to Pittsburgh, 2 really tough places to play, I think really, hardened us. And we knew that, again, the Packers were really good, and but if we go out and play like we're capable of, and Mike did a great job, Gary, with the game plan, because it was a mismatch for us, our wideouts against their secondary. They were really good in the secondary, and so Mike went in and said, hey, listen, we got to run the football against these guys to be able to win it. Leroy Butler was their strong safety at the time, and he always wreaked havoc inside as a free safety. He kind of roamed and did a lot of different things and caused a lot of mischief in there, and so we were able to kind of formation him out of that situation and allowed us to run the football. And Terrell had a great game. The offensive line up front was tremendous. Yeah. And this wore those guys down. They actually put 1 extra D lineman down before the game. And so, we get into the fourth quarter, and we knew we were in pretty good shape when the game was close.
Yeah, they had big Gilbert Brown, right? Who was like 1.5 defensive linemen.
Exactly.
They were playing like 6 on the line at that point.
Yeah, but I don't think he could take 3 steps forward in that fourth quarter. He was so tired.
Probably not.
Just wear him down.
You were talking about like the hostile environments, like going to Kansas City. I just watched the clip. I didn't know that you used to be able to tell the referees to quiet the crowd noise down.
Yeah.
Like when you were backed up in the end zone at Arrowhead, right? You would tell the refs, hey, they're being too loud. Then the refs would get on the PA and say, you guys need to shut up or else it's going to be a penalty against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
When did that stop?
That stopped the next year because it didn't work very good.
I noticed the crowd got
everybody
louder.
would just get mad about it. So, and then you got TV worrying about how much time they're taking because they want the game to fit in a 3-hour window, right? So I remember standing in Kansas City one time for like 3 minutes just waiting for them to, and as soon as the referee says be quiet, they get louder, right? So that was I think, for 1 year, and then kind of got out of that. So
that was quite a big rule change.
Yeah,
I can't imagine that.
It didn't work until I went back. So it was always Kansas City was always a tough place to go. It was always very loud, same as it is now. And so
this might be a tough question, but how mad were you that you had to present the Lombardi Trophy to the Chiefs this year?
Oh.
I wasn't mad. The thing is, I was pulling for Johnny Lynch, who's a good buddy as a GM with the Niners, and then Kyle obviously was running around our practices all the time when he was younger, and when Mike was with the Broncos, and so just the infinity for those guys, and and they'd been there before and lost one, and so it was really pulling for them. It was such a tight game, but you look at Kansas City, Andy Reid and Patrick. I think to me, Andy Reid is kind of one of the unsung heroes as far as a head coach and the credit that he gets being a head coach, because he's had a tremendous amount of success everywhere he's been. And I think we see that with Kansas City now, especially with Patrick and what he's done with Patrick.
Yeah.
He's really taking advantage of what he does best.
Yeah, it was a Raiders fan's worst nightmare. It was in the Raiders stadium, and it was the Chiefs, who they are rivals with, and then you were there. It was basically every bad thing that could ever happen to the Raiders.
Yeah.
It was just all in one spot. And you just had
That's
to watch
right.
it all. Yeah,
exactly.
I mentioned you're a living legend, which you are. I think the craziest part is you are part of two of the most iconic moments drive in football history, that so much so that they're just called the play and the drive. So I wanted to talk about both of them, the play, the band on the field. Have you gotten to a point now where you can be like, that actually was pretty funny? It's crazy.
And we're talking about the play just to be the Stanford. It was actually, people didn't realize it was my last college game.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't realize I even played in that game. But it was obviously at that time very disappointing, because we thought we were going to a bowl game, and we were going to be, if we'd won that game, we'd have been 6-5 and had a chance to get to a bowl game. We hadn't been to a bowl game, and it's not. In today's world, where there's so many different bowls, you got a lot of different options, and so we were all excited. Making that comeback, we picked up a 4th and 17, just the drive to get us back to where we kicked the field to go ahead. I think, and then there's 8 seconds left on the clock, and then chaos breaks out. Right?
Yeah.
But it was funny. So I've got to play something Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and so we went out to lunch, and we're at this place called One Shot Charlie's, and I sit down, and there's this older gentleman sitting next to me. And he taps me, he goes, hey, da-da-da, we start talking. He says, we have something in common. I said, we do? He goes, yeah. He goes, I was the umpire for the play. And I looked at him, I said, so it was your fault.
You son of a bitch.
And so it was funny that, 45 years later now, and, to see the umpire again was kind of fun. But, that was one of those plays that very disappointing at the time. But like you said, you see it every Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And so now, there's no question. It's we've done a lot of different things on it too. So it's you look back on it, and now you just say, I was kind of glad to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It's going to be around
it's
forever.
like objectively kind of funny that this actually happened.
Right.
Like, it's such an insane thing to happen.
Yeah.
That you can't even believe it. Even when you watch a replay, knowing what's going to happen, you're like, wait. Well, there's the tuba player. What's going on here?
Right. And the funny thing is, for a week, I was hoping that they were going to turn that thing over.
Yeah, they probably
we held on for a week, right?
Yeah.
They're going to come back and they're going to figure out a way to turn this thing around. But 45 years later, it has not been turned around.
Yeah.
It is crazy that they just allowed the marching band to go onto the field. Forget about turning it over a week later. Like, that should 1 second later.
My big question all the time I've asked, I said, what if the trombone player was on the 10-yard line and the guy that ran over him with the ball had gone down?
Yeah. Does his trombone player get the tackle?
Yeah. He gets the tackle. Now, do they call that a touchdown, or what? What is the rule there? That's a question I've never got answered.
Yeah.
A saxophone player forces a fumble, and then you guys get the ball, return it.
Maybe.
What happens then? Yeah. There's no way to know in that moment that, you're on the sideline. Future John Elway comes down and talks to present John Elway. Don't worry, you're going to look back at this, and it'll be an iconic moment in football history.
Yeah.
In 45
Yeah, you'll be
years.
fine.
I'm not sure I would have believed you at that point in time.
But then you had the drive. Like I said, I mean, the being part of the play and the drive. I mean, how often? I think it's a stupid question, but I'm always very curious. Guys who played in the league and had such incredible success. How often does your mind wander just back to the drive?
A lot, because it comes on, and every anniversary it's on there a lot. So, I still enjoy watching it, and it's kind of funny. That was in my 4th year, and my first year, my rookie year, struggled a little bit, and, so I was up and down, and, things kept getting better as time. But that was kind of my coming out party when we were able to do that in the situation we were in Cleveland and get it into overtime and then eventually win it in overtime. And so, but those are the type of things, like you said, memories, be able to look back. And really, the older you get, the more you kind of appreciate it.
Yeah.
And, so because the memories are so great, and proud to be part of it.
Yeah, the drive. Wouldn't that 98 yards?
98 yards, yeah.
98 yards.
98 yards.
With, what, 5 minutes left?
5 minutes to go, yeah. And so, picked up a couple 4th downs. And the thing is, that game, Cleveland was a really good football team. They were really good on defense. We hadn't had a lot of success all day on offense, with only scoring 13 points up to that point in time. So to go 98 against them and with 5 minutes to go, we started making some plays. And the thing is about that drive, we just started trying to get some first downs, get some breathing room, right? Take it one bit at a time. And then you could hear, and the stadium was loud, and then you could just hear the stadium getting quieter, and you can feel the momentum switch. And so then we got it going, and we're able to make those plays, and then really win it in overtime, which, people forget that we still had to go into overtime and win it.
It is an all-time moment listening to a crowd when a drive like that happens, and you can feel that they have the energy at the start, and then it slowly just goes away where you, like, even on third down, you can hear them trying to bring it back to that energy.
Right.
But you kind of have them.
Right, yeah. And that's the thing is you almost enjoy stadiums getting quieter than you do at home when they get louder.
Yeah.
Right? You notice it more when you're on the road and getting quieter.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. There is that very sad third down cheer.
They're like, we're trying
after
again.
you've got if you've gotten 2 fourth down conversions on the same drive, then it's third down again. Then it's just like, okay, we're gonna try.
Yeah.
But you know that you've got them when they got that sad level of volume in the stands. Yeah.
It's hard to get that back.
We're going to get back to John Elway in a second. He's being brought to you by Catalyst Fitness. We might be in trouble. I think Hank might have a chance to dunk. Our friends over at Catalyst heard that Hank needed help, and they came to his rescue. We tried a few weeks ago. It was wild. It was a crazy exercise. The Catalyst EMS suit is a high-tech fitness solution that uses electromuscle stimulation technology to optimize your workout effectiveness. It's an EMS suit that sends electrical impulses directly to all your major muscle groups, causing them to contract, activating twice as many muscles as any traditional workout in just 20 minutes. I've been talking to a lot of people about the workout that we did with the Catalyst suit because I felt like I was actually getting a good workout in.
Yep.
They had us do this workout routine. They had us put on the vest, put on all the sensors, and I was sweating my ass off by the end of it. Felt like a good workout. I was sore for 2 days afterwards. Felt like my muscles were really building something up. It felt like I just got done with a full body workout. With zero time wasted driving to the gym or the need for additional equipment, Catalyst is literally the one-stop shop for the best, most efficient workout of your life. It's like having a personal trainer embedded in your workout gear, pushing you to achieve more in less time and allowing you to enjoy a workout experience. It's 100% customized for you. Try the fitness solution that golfers are using to up their swing speed, actors are using to get ready for the next role, and regular guys named Hank use to get ready to dunk a basketball for the first time. Visit catalyst.com/PMT to learn more. That's KATALYST.com/PMT to learn more. And now here's John Elway. You were talking about some of the guys in that draft class. Did you have like a ongoing rivalry, whether it was something that you communicated to those other guys or just something that you kept track of in your head where you're always competing against the guys that were drafted in your same class?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's no question there's always a competition with us, and I think especially when you look, coming out, and Jimmy went to the USFL to start with, Kelly. He was in Houston for a couple of years before he went to Buffalo, but Dan was down in Miami, and the thing is he was the last player picked of those 6 quarterbacks that year, and so and then Danny came out his second year and threw for 5,000 yards, right? Went to the Super Bowl, and actually they played it at Stanford Stadium, right? And that year we got beat in the first round. We had the home field that year too, my second year, and got beat in the first round there. So, but I think after that point in time, it was really kind of chasing Danny because Danny was having so much success down in Miami, and then Jim went, when he came back and went up to Buffalo, they opened it up and had that red gun, I think they call it, and we're throwing it all over the place. We were a little bit with Dan, we were a little bit more conservative and. Run the ball and throw it when we needed to, but we were winning football games.
Yeah,
and you can't argue when you're winning football games, and then able to get to those 3 out of 4 years we got to the Super Bowls, and unfortunately didn't win them, but we're able to get there.
Yeah. So in that draft, obviously the famous you're going to maybe go play baseball if the Colts do take you, but if they decide to keep you, was there ever a moment that you were nervous that like? Maybe I'm bluffing, like, because you love football, and if they just say, "Hey, we're willing to burn a pick here," were you willing to be like, "I'm done with football. I'm going to play baseball"?
Well, my plan was really to go play baseball for a year because I had signed with the Yankees after my sophomore year. Doing my junior and senior year, I played minor league baseball up in Oneonta, New York, for the Yankees, and so. I was in a contract with the Yankees, and so my plan was to go play baseball for a year. Then my name would have gone back in the draft the next year.
Got it.
Right? So they lose. So the Colts would have lost the rights to me the next year.
Yeah.
So my name would have gone back into the draft. So that was the worst scenario. but I wanted to play football.
Right.
And, and so I thought there was going to be a trade done before the draft. And, I really thought I was going to the Raiders. And
Really?
that night before, it was through Chicago. And then I think Al Davis at the time was, I think, suing or was in a lawsuit with the NFL.
Yeah.
And him and Pete Rozelle didn't get along very well. So rumor has it that Pete kind of got involved, got a hold of Finks in Chicago and said, you can't let this go through. And so then that trade fell through. And so then the Colts kind of got stuck and ended up taking me. And so.
Yeah, when they said your name, did you know that you were like they were already back channeling that you're not going to be, or were you like, shit, they did take me?
No, we can't. I knew it by then, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't back then when we got drafted. We rented a suite with all the guys that were going to get drafted and watched the draft, and kind of all got together and did it that way. And so I was in constant contact with my agent all the time, and so I knew once we got close to the draft that the Colts were going to take me. So
yeah, and you turned out to be correct because they moved. The Colts moved right.
They moved
after,
the
right?
next year.
Yeah, so you were kind of vindicated in that.
That's what I kept trying to say. It's like nothing against Baltimore. I had never been to Baltimore. It really was nothing against Baltimore.
But it was the franchise was kind of in
the
turmoil.
franchise and where they were, and they'd drafted Schleister a couple years before, and so it was just didn't feel like it was and having the leverage with baseball. And really my dad was one that led this whole charge. And he was smart enough to do it. At 22, I was not the one that was going to lead that charge. But he wanted to get me in a situation that was going to allow me, to be the best player that I could be with a good organization that thought I had a chance with.
Yeah.
So.
And then years later, you get Peyton Manning from the Colts to Denver.
Yeah.
You're like, they must hate you in Indianapolis.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, they let him go. So they were more mad at the organization that allowed us to get him.
Yeah. Was there ever any thought of playing both?
No, I didn't. I spent so much time at football, and I was a better football player than I was a baseball player just because of the amount of time I spent at it. I went to college roommates. Both of them had really good major league careers. So I think I could have had a good major league career, but I don't know that it would have been at the level that I had when playing football.
Yeah, because it didn't. The story goes that George Steinbrenner said that you were going to be the starting right fielder by like 85.
Right. Yeah. He
And
did
that's
say
pretty
that.
cool.
That's
just having
that's
that.
really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, I really wanted to play football. I loved playing the quarterback position, and felt I was a better quarterback than I was an outfielder, and so.
Well, thank you for playing football because it wouldn't hit the same. John Elway baseball player, career 280 hitter, which would have been great, but no, John Elway's a football player. Right.
So, but it worked out great, and thank God they traded me to Denver. And Denver was really never on the list of we were talking to different teams before the draft of where I might go. San Diego was in it, but because they had 3 firsts, but they were really trying to get Fouts signed. Fouts was a free agent at that time, and so. And they didn't have free agency, but not under contract. And so they kind of used that leverage to get Dan signed. So that kind of ended San Diego. Seattle was a possibility, New England. And then ended up Denver was we asked Denver, they said no. We're not interested early, and then they came back late. So
and it all worked out.
It worked out.
Yeah. As an executive, we noticed that you had a type in quarterbacks. What's the shortest a quarterback can be, in your opinion? Because you really do like them tall.
Yeah. Well, I went tall.
Yeah, you
There's
like
no
them
doubt
tall.
I went tall.
We would see a tall guy and be like, that's John Elway's next quarterback.
Did you see Big Cat? He's like 6'3", and you're like, I could work with this guy.
There you go.
Not bad, right?
I know it. But, I think, but I think there's a limit that's too tall, too, right?
Well, not really. You gave
quarterbacks.
Brock Osweiler a contract. That's just not true. You could go.
That's true. And
you
he
went
actually,
to the tallest.
And in 2015, when we won Super Bowl 50, Brock came in and played 7 games for us and played really well.
That's true.
5
So you were vindicated there,
yeah. But I don't think, especially in today's game, especially with the way they're protecting the quarterbacks and those type of things, I don't think you have to be nearly as tall as you used to have to be. And, I believe that, as a quarterback, it's great if you have the ability to move around and extend plays and make plays. That's huge to be able to get out and run around the pocket. But I still believe that, and I learned this, is that to win Super Bowls, you have to have a quarterback that can win it from the pocket.
Yeah.
You got to be able to have the guys that can win it from the pocket because they're too good. You look at the one Super Bowl that Kansas City lost to Tampa. Tampa put pressure on him with 4 guys, right? And they had 7 back there and got him running early. And then that's when Tampa was able to beat him. So I think that, when you think about quarterbacks, I still believe you got to win it from the pocket.
Yeah.
Is it hard to evaluate the quarterback position because you were so good at playing the position? Do you think that comes into it all?
No, I think the hardest thing about figuring out who's going to make it and who's not is what's here. right? And so, I mean, I think if you look at all these quarterbacks that always go high in the draft, you know, they're going to bad teams, number one. And number two is they've never really had any criticism their whole life, right? Because they were good the whole time. They were good in high school. They were good in college. And so they never faced the criticism. And so, you know, to be able to figure out and the right combination with an offensive coordinator, head coach is key. But to be able to get those kids in situations because they're going to go through tough times. There is a lot of growing pains coming from college football. I don't care if you played at Alabama or anywhere. You get to the NFL, it's a big jump. You know, in college, you may play against one or two guys on the other side that'll play in the NFL. Whereas once you get in the NFL, they're all
NFL
good,
players.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but I think the key thing is trying to figure out how they're going to handle the negative criticism and the negativity that comes along with young quarterbacks, what they have to go through because they've got those growing pains. And so that's the thing that you can't read. Yeah. And also trying to figure out getting them in the right offense that allows them to be successful. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. And there's always such a rush to get those young guys in there because the fans want them in there and see how they're going to do. And so, you know, to be able to have a coach, a head coach, or an offensive coordinator that can really protect that kid and really let him grow for the first couple years, 2 or 3 years, to where he sees everything and he's ready to go.
Yeah, situation is everything. So this is a part of the show we do where it's I love to gamble. I bring up a bad memory about gambling and ask our guest a question about it. Did you actually watch Paxton Lynch's bowl game?
I did.
Okay, that makes no sense then. I lost a lot of money on Memphis in that game, and I that was all my scouting of Paxton Lynch.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
You missed some, but
yeah, you know, and we thought, you know, the thing is, a lot of times when you go through that, if the coach likes him, right, and it's a good fit. Gary Kubiak was the head coach at that time, and you know, he's athletic and could move around. Again, you never know what's in here. We thought he would be a really good fit in Gary's offense, and then, you know, unfortunately, Gary retired after that year, and then trying to get that mix back, and you know, unfortunately, that was one of those picks that didn't work out.
Yeah, you maybe, you know, I know you're not the GM anymore of Broncos, but you're still involved. Maybe just having me come by for like a pre-draft meeting and you can say a name and be like, nope, he actually he played a terrible game against USC. Like, don't
Gamblers
do it.
know. Gamblers know.
Listen, I'm not a smart person, but I lost a lot of money on that game, and I was like, this guy.
That can tilt you.
For sure. I was just took it with me.
Yeah. If you lose a bet on somebody, you remember all the bad things they did, and you can give a great downside.
You'll never like him again either. You hate everything about it, right?
Done. I'm done with this guy.
Probably a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Really wish he had played better against Auburn in that bowl game. Sorry.
One guy we got to get on the show is Mike Shanahan. Mike Shanahan seems like a football guy through and through. You got to spend a lot of time with him. We've kind of danced around this topic for years. We've had some players that have played for him that have told us about the parties that he used to throw at his house every year.
Yeah.
And we heard that he has a tanning bed in his house, in his home. Did you ever see his tanning bed?
I never saw the tanning bed, but, you know, we always had those parties when we broke camp, and so it was always a real good party before we went into the year, but I never saw the tanning booth. It was funny. You never wore a hat, so I think all the color, was natural.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we've heard how fun those parties were. What was he like as a coach? Was he a player's coach?
He was tough, you know, and I think that's what made him great. Number one, he was a very hard worker, like most head coaches, but what his knowledge of the offensive game was tremendous, and where it was back then, the West Coast offense. Because when he left Denver, he went to San Francisco, learned the West Coast, and then when he came back to Denver with Alex Gibbs, who was our offensive line coach, they put the zone running game in with the West Coast, and then the combination, and then Mike just kind of grew it from there. And then I think if you look even now what Kyle has done with the same base offense and what he's done and expanded with it, that, you know, they just continue to take it to new heights. But Mike was, you know, he was a player's coach, but he was tough, and the expectations, it was never enough. He never let us exhale. It was always, we got to play better the next week. But you know, players loved him, and he's a guy that wanted to win football games. And so he was the best coach I ever played for, because I had a great rapport with him also, but loved what he did offensively. But also the expectations that he had of us made us have the expectations of us too. And therefore, that's, I think, why we were able to play at that level.
Yeah, the running game in the Shanahan offense it's beautiful to watch.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's one thing where, you know, you can go 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and to a certain extent, you know, that can win you some football games. But when you watch the 49ers or the Broncos back in the day, or now the Dolphins, when they're running the football, you're like, this is a work of art.
It really is. And and the key thing is, and what people don't realize, is anytime you run the ball that well, you have receivers that can block. Right?
Yeah.
And that's the key thing, because those right receivers got to get down in there and dig out those strong safeties and those type things. And so with Eddie, when I was there my last couple of years, Eddie McCaffrey and Rod Smith, they were great receivers, but also tough guys to get in there and dig out those DBs. And so that's what makes that running game so good, and the commitment by those wide receivers to block in the running game.
Yeah. Is there a guy that you played with that you think could excel in today's NFL, like a guy that would be an absolute game breaker? I have one in mind, but curious to hear from you.
That excelled in today's game. I mean, Gary Zimmerman, the left tackle, I think could have played it in any time. He was just that physically talented. He wasn't a huge guy. He's probably 285, 290, but wasn't huge, but just knew how to play the game. And was a guy that I trusted on the backside. And so that's one guy that would fit. I mean, Terrell, would still fit in. And I was trying to think if there's any, defensively, our safeties, Dennis Smith and Atwater, they probably wouldn't fit in because they'd probably be suspended every other game because they'd blow guys up, right? Yeah. But yeah, I think we have several guys that still playing.
I mean,
today.
Shannon Sharp was
that was the one that I was thinking of, like especially where the tight ends come.
Yeah.
And the ability that he had to run after the catch, how strong he was, how big he was.
Yeah.
That's a dude. I've seen him recently. He's a massive man.
He's still
probably
that big.
Still could play.
He almost looks bigger now than he was when he played, but
Yeah.
he keeps working. But and the other thing is, Shannon was only probably 225 pounds. But he was so strong, especially in the zone game on outside zone. He had to control that outside linebacker, and he was able to do that. So to have a tight end that can catch and run routes and catch the ball like he could, but also block, because you don't see a lot of that in the NFL today. They're either a pass catcher or they're a blocker.
Yeah.
And you don't have a combination of guys that can run, block as well as have the great speed and stretch the field for you too.
Yeah. Weird question. Tebow mania. Was there ever a moment where you're like, maybe God is a Broncos fan?
There was no doubt I thought he was.
Because once it kept on going, we're like, what is going on here?
My gut was, eventually God's got to take care of somebody else too. Because the way that, my first year when he came in as a starter and was in there the last, 13 games. I mean, there were some things that happened that were just, truly unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so, we're playing Chicago on a Monday night. He runs out of bounds.
Marion Barber,
stays in bounds. The game's over.
Yep.
Get him out of bounds, and then all of a sudden Tim, comes back and makes that big comeback. And so it was amazing. It was, I think we beat Kansas City with 8 yards passing or something like that, right?
It was crazy. And then obviously the Steelers, playoff game and the slant. And
the slant in overtime, first play of overtime.
It's crazy.
It was crazy. But, and he's a great kid. I mean, it really is. He's everything that people think he is and just a tremendous, competitor. Now, I think there's only one guy that could have got me out of Tebow mania, and that was Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that was the only guy that I think that people would accept to say, okay, well, Peyton's probably a little bit better than Timmy, and so we can go ahead and go that direction. And so that's why it was even more important to get Peyton.
Was there any part of your conversations with Peyton where he showed that he was like, I don't really want to, I'm worried about coming to Denver because this is John Elway's city? Because it is. You're bigger than life there, and you are kind of like, when you think of Broncos, it's John Elway.
Yeah, but I don't think Peyton had a problem with that. I didn't think so. I think that Peyton was, he's obviously, and we all know how studious he is and the way he runs things. That he was going to pick the best place for him, right? Where he felt like, he was going to be able to run his stuff and be the offense molded to what he wanted to do, and also getting him a situation that was like Indianapolis, that was not a major market, but Denver's and Indy's about the same size. And so, I thought it was just a good fit. John Fox was the head coach. He liked John. John was a really good guy and a good recruiter too. So, and obviously it worked out very well for Peyton.
Yeah, I'd say so. That first Super Bowl was tough too. Speaking of gamblers,
yeah.
I had the Seahawks, or excuse me, I had the Broncos in that one.
Yeah,
and then it felt like after the first snap, it just wasn't going to go your way.
Oh yeah, that momentum switched fast, like on the first play, and so and
I bet a lot on the Broncos in that.
Yeah,
and I had a Super Bowl party.
Von Miller got hurt, so he was out, and then but Seattle was pretty good, and then we just couldn't get things going.
Yeah, I kicked everyone out of my house in the third quarter because I lost so much money on you guys.
And unfortunately, I was up in the box. I had to stay there. I would have been at your house.
Yeah,
If I could have been.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it's funny. You talk about Tebow mania. I remember distinctly. I forget which game it was, but right after it was over, the camera showed you, and you were just shaking your head like, I don't know how this happened, but I guess I'm just gonna roll with it.
Yeah. We had a game down in Miami. We had like 38 yards the whole game. We're down 14-0 with 7 minutes to go in the game. We ended up getting it overtime and win the game. I mean, that might have been it. I was just like, I don't know how this
Let's
happened.
just roll with it.
Yeah,
Let's
it's crazy.
lean into it.
No idea.
I am a little bit upset with you because I bought a Nerf Vortex football when I was like 11 years old, and I thought that I was going to be able to throw it like 100 yards because I think it said on it like John Elway threw this. How far did you throw the Vortex?
Shoot, I think it's 120 yards. That sucker flew pretty good with the tail and the
Yeah.
noise. Did you get the one with the noise?
Oh,
too?
yeah, got the one with the noise. My parents hated it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you take that to the beach, everybody around you hates that that family. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But no, that thing sailed pretty good.
Yeah. How far could you throw an actual football?
I think the farthest I threw one in a game was, I think, probably 72 yards. I think I could get it 80 to 85 when I was at my height.
And I mean, you had the famous in college, the Elway cross.
Yeah.
Because you broke your receiver's fingers so much that you could see the cross on their jersey.
Well, it was really when they didn't have pads on it. And if they let it get to their chest, sometimes the cross on the end of the ball would get to the skin, and so I think it happened a couple times. So that would.
Would you feel bad that you were just breaking your receiver's fingers?
Yes, I did. Especially, and I felt bad every time the ball didn't spiral because I knew if the ball didn't spiral, it was going to be tough for them to catch it. And so it was like, that's when fingers usually got sprained or broken, when the ball didn't spiral. So as long as the ball spiraled, I felt a lot better about it when I got there.
But that is a rocket arm if you're like, my receivers just keep breaking their fingers because I throw it so goddamn hard.
Yeah, well, I always felt the quicker I get it to them, then the quicker they can get their head upfield and do something with it after the ball. So after the catch.
Yeah, well, this has been awesome. I have one last question. Roback question, RHOBACK.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase, Q-Zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, Roback.com, promo code TAKE. It's not a question. I just want to read a quote that I read of yours that is maybe the most badass quote ever. You said, "I've always thought I was going to die with a shovel in case I woke up, I could dig my way out."
Yeah. I want to be buried with a shovel. I've always said that. I want to be buried with a shovel because I don't want to give up either. I don't know. And if I do wake up, I want to be able to have a way to get out of there. So I do.
Have you put this into your will? Like, are your kids
all my kids, everybody knows. I said, make sure that shovel's in there.
Okay, all right. So they're like,
that's why I'm not getting cremated at all. I'm
give you a chance, give you a fighting chance.
Absolutely.
So awesome. Like, John Elway, hopefully you live for many, many more years, but the day that comes, we're just going to have to wait a couple more days after that and be like, anyone check on the on the plot? Is
there dirt? Is there any grass left over there?
You should train. You should actually train for it.
Right? No, you're right. Yeah. I am now. I'm going to make sure I'm in shape when I die, too.
No, but it's a good idea to just get some shovel work in. I think we could all use that.
Absolutely.
You never know.
Absolutely. You never know.
You never know.
Success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah. That's right.
Right. So when I get the opportunity to die, I want to be prepared to dig my way out.
There you go.
Well, I mean, it's
That's
great.
Right on.
Like you're just never out of a game.
Never. Never.
The ultimate
that's
quarter
quitting.
comeback.
Yeah.
That would be quitting. I can't ever quit.
Yeah. So. Well, this has been awesome. Like I said, it's such a thrill to have you on. We appreciate it so much. How you feeling about the golf game?
Not bad.
You're a really good golfer.
I play a lot now, so I should be because I play a lot. But you get here and you're not used to playing in these situations, competitive golf like this. The good thing is it's a double bogey max, so that helps. But you always, no matter what, and for me, I still love competing as much as I ever did, and so to be able to come out here and do it on a golf course is tremendous. And so try to go out there and not think you're Jack Nicklaus and say, okay, you are John Elway. You're going to miss some shots, so don't worry about that. Try to make up for them. So try to make some birdies and see what happens.
Is there one guy in the field that you're very much looking forward to beating? Like if we're doing a head-to-head match, and I know you're not going to be necessarily paired with this guy, but is there one guy that you want to make sure that you beat?
You know what I always say, I want to be in the top 10, and then I'd like to finish first of the oldest guys, right? So Jack Wagner's a little bit older, and he's been here every year. So, try to stay ahead of those guys. But it's fun because I'm looking forward to Friday. I get to play with Josh Allen, who I played with last year, and Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
So I get to play with those two and get caught up with those two. So I'm looking forward to it. And there's so many great guys out here, great celebrities. It's fun to, guys that we see on TV, and the young guys that are playing now get a chance to meet them. So it's a thrill for us old guys to be here.
How did you not get Josh Allen? I feel like he is exactly your type.
I know, he is. And
The one
believe me,
that got
last
away.
year I played with him, and he says, yeah, and John I'm wondering, how long is it going to take him to realize that I passed on him and took Bradley and Chubb instead?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it took him 2.5 holes to bring it up, and I loved him, right?
Yeah.
But it just, didn't
was
work
your
out.
type.
and
That's
he
the
was
one.
my
Yeah.
type,
Yeah.
and you're right. That was probably my biggest mistake of my GM days was not taking Josh.
You didn't watch Paxton Lynch's bowl game.
That too. That too. And I didn't get a chance to talk to you.
Yeah, exactly. You should have talked to me. All right. Well, thanks so much, John. We appreciate it.
You got to do.
Thanks,
a lot of fun.
John Elway was brought to you by Sport Clips. Gentlemen, get ready because this month Sport Clips Haircuts is taking their MVP haircut experience to the ultimate level. Throughout the month of July, you get to relax twice and pay once because the ultimate MVP is the same price as the standard MVP. Also, just in time to beat the heat, the refreshing chilled towel is back. That means you get double the hot or chilled towel action, double the sudsy satisfaction of a massaging shampoo and conditioning treatment, and if they could find a way to double the sports on their screens, they would double that too. When it comes to your hair, go to the specialists who are trained in men's hair. Sport Clips, it's a game changer, valid at participating locations only in 7/31/2024.
This Mount Rushmore is brought to you by our friends at Pepsi. Saucy, stretchy, crunchy, gooey, messy. Pepsi is an essential part of the most undeniably delicious food moments. Let's face it, Pepsi just makes every bite better. The refreshing pop of sweet, fizzy Pepsi bubbles makes even the best food taste even better. I love, love, love the wild cherry Pepsi. It is so good. So if you're eating anything, cheeseburgers, pizza, sandwiches, wings, hot dogs, Pepsi is what you want to go with. Grab a Pepsi, zero sugar for your next meal, as every crave-worthy bite is better with Pepsi. Thank you to Pepsi. We are going to do the Mount Rushmore of after-school snacks.
I think this might get contentious.
I also think, PFT, we might age ourselves out a little.
Yeah, that's okay.
Both those things have crossed my mind.
That's totally fine.
Yes, but I'm excited for this. And Henry has the first pick.
I believe I do.
And
Not necessarily a draft you want the first pick.
It is a deep draft.
It is deep, but yeah, you're right. This might be a good spot to have a third or fourth. But I'm ready, Hank, for whatever you want. Do you have anything to say about the dartboard bullseye on Friday?
It was just bullseye.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Ready?
It should have been dartboard.
Okay. Ready? You ready?
That was a mistake.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Henry, 1-1 pick of after-school snacks presented by Pepsi.
I had to go with something I'm passionate about, something I love more than anything. The greatest combination in the world, peanut butter, chocolate. I'm going to go with Nutty Bars.
Okay.
Good one. Love them. Love them.
Yeah.
You know that you'll get my vote on that.
It's a solid pick.
Yeah. You know you'll get my vote.
I want to take it
can't do
1-1,
anything
but
about
it's a good pick.
Like I said, there's not a clear 1-1 in my mind.
Yeah. There actually is not.
Because
I agree with
everyone's after school snacks are basically based off of their parents
Yeah.
or their friends' parents.
Yeah. And the one house that had everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's shout out that was the best house.
That's where I'm going with my 1-1, yeah.
Okay.
I'm worried that this is going to be a fat shaming thing
Okay.
because my after school snack
Meatballs?
was just a,
You're going to pick meatballs?
was just a fourth,
Lasagna.
It was just like a fourth meal. So I'm gonna go nuggets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any
Chicken
specific?
Chicken nuggets. Yeah.
Okay. Because I had
Like
Dino Nuggets. Dino Nuggets were the best.
Dino Nuggets. I wanted, but I thought maybe that was a little too niche.
No,
I was
Dino
gonna
Nuggets
say
is
chicken
good.
nuggets.
Dino Nuggets rock. Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's I had nuggets on my list. You're good.
All right, this is my 1-1, and this is based off of the friend's house who had everything, that had the stock pantry. Pizza rolls. Pizza rolls. Remember when Blake Bortles and Jared Goff almost burned down that house at the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Trying to make pizza rolls?
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yes. Okay. Good pick. I had it on my list as well. This is tough. Okay, I will go with Doritos.
All right.
Cool Ranch Doritos are my favorite. Do you want me to specify? I can. I don't care if you guys want.
I think you can just say Doritos.
Doritos. I mean,
Yeah.
Doritos are the best. right.
Doritos are the best.
They really are the best.
God damn.
And they're best, after school.
Dip them in some salsa.
This is tough because I want to, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm just going to double up on it. Pringles.
You're going double chips.
I'm going double chips because I'm a chips guy, need the crunch. Doritos and Pringles, lock up the chips aisle.
Okay.
Which, no, you don't have to specify. Pringles is fine, but which Pringles?
Sour cream and onion, original, BBQ. That's my top 3.
No pizza.
I wasn't a big pizza. The pizza combos and Pringles are like too artificial flavoring to me, which I know that sounds ridiculous because everything that we're listing is like the worst thing you can put in your body. But I never got into the pizza.
I like the pizza.
Okay.
All right. Next up, I'm going to go string cheese. String cheese.
Love that.
Just
pick.
toss it across the room. You don't even have
pick.
to. You can go into your house for 5 seconds. Toss the string cheese, throw the backpack down, go back outside.
Okay.
Wait, this is me.
Yeah, that's you.
This was my other pick. Again, bigger than normal snacks. I'm gonna go bagel bites.
Okay, yeah. I am a bagel bite guy over
Me too.
pizza roll.
So am I. That was my second. In my big board, it was nuggets 1, bagel bites 2.
yeah, bagel bites are great. Bagel bites are great. I love bagel bites. I'll eat them as an adult.
I'm actually pretty shocked this got back to me. It's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Goldfish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like though the only downs. I love goldfish.
You could take
I'm
out-
not saying anything bad about goldfish. I do fart more when I eat goldfish because I'm convinced that the air trapped inside the goldfish goes in your belly.
Or you swallow it?
Yeah.
So goldfish I thought about too, but in my book, that's more of a like lunchtime snack.
These
That's
are
like-
all kind
Yeah,
of.
they're
That's like
the
added
same.
in.
No, they're all the same.
You have that as a side dish.
Yeah. No,
I think
they're-
all of these things would show up in a bag
That's
lunch.
true.
Yeah.
String
Maybe
cheese.
not- maybe not
yeah.
bagel.
Yeah,
bites.
but
String cheese for sure.
after school, you're just like you go to the pantry and you're like, what am I going to eat?
Right.
Goldfish are always there.
Yeah, because of the pantry, whatever you're putting in your lunch is also
What are your goldfish flavors?
straight up.
Straight up.
Oh, flavor blast. You got to blast the flavor.
I do like the pretzel goldfish too. A little change of pace.
I like the flavor blast, but you could just give me plain goldfish
Yeah.
and I could eat the entire family size box in one sitting, maybe 2.
Okay.
I will go with Famous Amos cookies.
Oh, good pick. Yeah.
Good pick.
That was
A little
that was
bag.
the
Or
big
the-
bag. Like my parents.
I
That was like the
Yeah, they had the little
BJ's. They had
bag.
the big boxes at BJ's.
But with little bags. No.
Yeah, they come in little bags.
They're
The little
reasonably-
yellow bag? Am I thinking of
yeah,
the
no, that's-
mustard, like
that's-
mustard
that's Famous
yellow.
Amos.
Yeah.
They were
Those are great.
they were like good sized bags. Though.
Yeah, but the cookies are small, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good pick. Like that pick a lot. God damn it, being a kid was the best. Because I have like half of these I have in my house right now, and it's a problem.
I think we have
Big
most of them
problem.
out just in the lobby.
Yeah, it's a big.
We definitely have goldfish. We've got
Famous Amos.
Yeah. Doritos.
Yep.
Yeah, we've got it
Got
all.
them all. All right,
String cheese.
Max.
This is me.
Yeah.
Is it? Wait, is it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Uncrustables.
Good
Okay.
pick.
Good pick. I love Uncrustables.
You're just going all meals.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, after school, that was my I needed a fourth meal after school.
All right,
Like, I
but
had-
like, why didn't you just think about what snack would you have after your 4th meal, or did you just go straight?
No, but that was like the snack. Like they're like the smaller meals.
Yeah.
It was that's what I would have after school. I'm
Yeah.
being true to myself.
Yeah, and Uncrustables is a great choice.
Yeah.
It's a perfect snack.
Did you not have a pantry?
I did, but like they didn't. It just wasn't really in my repertoire.
Okay.
All right, for my next one, I'm going to go with celery and peanut butter. Especially for kids. If you want to like act like you're feeding them something good, it's celery. It's a vegetable.
Yeah.
And then we're going to cover it in peanut butter.
You go ants on a log or no?
Ants on a log are good, but to tell you the truth, I don't have the patience for it.
Yeah.
Once I get the celery dipped into the peanut butter, I'm
gotta
like,
get the-
I'm eating this.
Yeah. Okay. Question before I make my final 2 picks. Drinks, yes or no?
Yes.
Snacks? Are we saying drinks or no?
I think they could be.
Okay. Because I don't want to.
Because,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. No? Hank, no? I'm
Is
fine
a drink
with.
a snack?
Yeah, I'm fine with not opening that door. I was just asking it for the group because I can go totally different place, or I could go a drink. I don't care, but I want to. Just ask.
Because I had a specific type of drink that is like somewhat snack adjacent. And
Right.
Adjacent. Not
All right, so let's
snack.
go no drinks. That's fine.
Okay, well,
We'll go no
what would
drinks.
your drink have been?
Capri Sun.
Oh, good pick.
Yeah.
I would have taken Slurpee.
Also good.
The
pick.
dictionary definition of snack is a small amount of food
Okay.
eaten between
All right.
meals.
All right. I would have done Capri Sun. I also had Yoo-Hoo on the list. I had Sunny D on the
We
list.
could do after school drinks.
We could do that another time.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. I'm happy. That was nice how we did that. That was good. Okay. Let's see. Fruit snacks, easy. Do you want me to specify? I can. You would like me to specify? Okay. This is where I'm going to age myself. Fuck.
Are you about to say the shark ones?
Yeah.
They're still around.
Yeah,
they're
they
still
are.
around.
Shark bites are
good.
still
Yeah,
around?
I
All
get,
right, good.
I get gummy sharks in my frozen yogurt.
The fucking
Yeah.
great white shark is the best fruit snack ever.
It is good.
Shark bites. Can you put parentheses fruit snacks because people might not know what shark bites are?
That's fair.
All
That's
right.
fair.
And then I'm not talking about homemade. I'm talking about store. Just rip it open. The Rice Krispie treat. Love
Yep.
that. Rice
Yep.
Krispie treats.
pick.
Old reliable.
Good pick.
Old reliable.
Good pick. I'm
I
bummed.
also have that in my house.
I'm bummed I can't take Slurpee because the after
Yeah, no, I
snack
want to take Capri Sun.
with a Slurpee. That's when you're driving home from school.
Yeah.
Those couple years, you swing by the 7-Eleven on the way back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna pivot and I'm gonna go to Easy Mac. Easy Mac mac and cheese.
Great pick.
Good pick.
Great pick.
Thank
that's
you.
that's in my
Thank you.
You're
that's in
doing
my
meals, yeah.
repertoire. Yeah.
Thank you. Easy Mac was elite.
Yeah.
Max's last pick is steak.
Meatballs.
Meatball, he's taking it.
You have a great draft, Max.
I have
but there's just no
I mean, I could
just
just
meals.
keep going because I have another one that I would like to do.
do it.
Lunchables.
Okay. Yeah. It's great. It's great.
That's literally lunch, though.
But it's
Yeah,
a
but
snack.
but it
it's,
isn't-
It's not a
it's a
real.
lunch.
It's not a full meal.
It
for,
can't be a
for
snack.
big growing
No,
boy.
it can't be a snack if
Which
it's lunch.
Lunchable? Which Lunchable?
I think that's I mean, I
yeah,
would eat it
that's
after
a
school.
snack. I would eat that after school.
but which Lunchable?
The
I wish I knew 12-year-old
I don't really,
Max
like-
just fucking pounding all of these things.
But that's insane that we're allowing Lunchables. It's literally lunch.
I get it, but I mean,
It's
I would
just-
eat it after school.
Yeah,
so
I would eat
That's
it.
fine.
Yeah, these are things that I would eat after school.
Yeah. All right. You can make another one. I crushed Lunchables.
Yeah,
after school.
Lunchables are
Crushed them. Crushed them.
There was only a couple good ones. Like the pizza ones were trash.
Pizza
great.
one was trash. No,
I like the cheese and cracker.
Yeah, the cheese and cracker with
I think
pepperoni.
I don't know why that should stand.
If you want to take
Lunchables
cheese
is
and
a-
cracker, Lunchables.
No, you can
Yeah,
keep
cheese
it.
and
Also,
cra-
you
cheese
can
and-
keep it.
No, but, like,
I just think
Lunchables-
that it's insane.
Lunchables come with dessert and a drink, so it's like it
But
is
there were
more
ones
than a
that
snack.
there were ones that didn't come with all.
But
of that.
Lunchables, for in Max's defense, Lunchables for maybe guys our size was not a full lunch.
That's not a
You
no.
can't eat a Lunchable for lunch.
I never once had a Lunchable
never
for lunch.
Never,
Not
because you just be like,
once.
what
Yeah.
that's it? That's all I get?
Correct.
That's like a warm-up snack.
Yeah,
You eat the Lunchable,
Yes,
and then you go to the
yes.
bagel bites. Yeah.
I'm sticking. Lunchable.
Okay.
And I'll even put the cheese and cracker in parentheses.
But you should just get cheese and crackers because Lunchables come with a drink.
But the Lunchable ones are the
My qualm is not with the fact that there's so many things in a Lunchable. It's just the fact that we're taking lunch as a snack. It's funny. It's ridiculous. But we're gonna let Max do it.
But Lunchables, if it weren't for the name, it is the quintessential snack. Like the name is it's stopping it. Like it's literally the size is a snack.
It's like
you eat it after school.
Wait,
It's like you have
question:
it stacked.
Can a snack have a dessert?
Do all Lunchables have dessert?
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah, I mean, well, half of mine are desserts anyway.
No, but I mean, like, there's a dessert that goes along with his snack.
There's like
After
one.
you're done with your snack, you can have your
What was the
dessert.
dessert in them?
There's like
Andy's
would,
bar.
There would be right here.
We can't see it, Max.
We can't see it.
Oh
Max.
shit!
It was the Andy's bar, the mint
This
chocolate
like
thing.
there were ones that didn't have.
Yeah, I used
stuff.
to not have ones
Yeah.
with dessert. It would be like the meat and cheese and crackers. That was
Yes,
it.
that's it. That was it.
Those are the ones I used to have.
Also,
I didn't know
I'll,
they got
I'll even
desserts
put
now.
just the cheese, just the meat, cheese, and cracker.
Yeah, this is the one I'm talking about. PFD. That's a snack.
But I think that's leaving out a part of the tray.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
It's
because
a
there's
full tray.
there was usually
Look at it.
I think there was both. There was some that didn't have.
there were some no dessert Lunchables.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember having. Look at this one, ham and cheddar. There's no dessert in that one. Crackers, cheese, ham.
Okay, all right.
It is like, I mean, it's just not even close to a meal. It's 260 calories.
Yeah, that's
Again,
like the
this
same.
might be us being
but that's also
biased.
like the same amount of calories as a bag of Doritos.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Okay. So you're sticking with it.
I'm sticking with it. We'll put the
Memes?
meat.
No,
I'll even put the just meat, cheese, and cracker in the parentheses.
I think Max should be allowed to pick it. I just think it's very funny that he took lunch as a snack.
Yeah, yes.
I'm
yes,
looking
that's
right
fair.
now. Lunchables have gotten fancy.
Yeah, too fancy. Just
They
give me the
are
meat, cheese, and
crazy
crackers.
right now.
Run the football.
Holy shit! They're mini hot dog Lunchables. What the fuck? Damn, they've got ones with Reese's in them. All right, Hank.
Last pick.
Yep,
Dunkaroos.
good one. I had it on my list.
Yeah.
Can't argue with it. Can't argue with it. We missed a bunch.
Gushers.
Yeah.
Cosmic brownies.
Cosmic brownies is on my list. Love
Zebra
them.
cakes.
Little Debbie.
Yeah. Fruit roll-ups.
Yep.
Fruit by the foot. I was a fruit by the foot guy. Were you guys a fruit by the foot or fruit roll-up?
I was Fruit Roll-Ups family.
Fruit roll up.
I liked fruit by the foot. I like to spin it out and just eat it, like not use my hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was a yogurt, like a Trix yogurt
Oh,
was like
Go-Gurt.
a
Go-Gurt.
Go-Gurt.
Go-Gurt's big miss.
That was what I was gonna go if I
Trix
didn't go.
yogurt was
Trix
also
yogurt
really
was
good.
so good.
Yeah. Gushers. We say Gushers. The peanut butter chewy granola bar. That's like a
Yep.
candy bar.
Yep.
But you can pretend that it's healthy.
Just cheese. Those the packets that were the neon orange cheese crackers with the peanut butter inside.
Yes.
You know those?
Yeah. Wait, are you talking about? Yes. I liked the same one, regular cracker, peanut
Yeah.
butter inside, but I know what you're talking about with the neon orange.
Yeah. Then
And they also had those with cheese.
Yep. Hot Pockets.
Yep. I have a whole line of
Oh,
meals
fuck.
that's still.
Hot Pockets.
Hot
Dude, I used to
Pockets.
crush Hot Pockets. I completely forgot about Hot Pockets. I loved Hot Pockets. God damn it, they were good.
Just a grilled cheese
Yep.
sandwich.
Taquitos I would do.
Taquitos are good too. Yeah.
Cheetos.
Peanut butter pretzels.
Chocolate Teddy Grahams. I used to do chocolate Teddy Grahams. This is now not after. Well, I guess it's after school because it was college when I was high.
Yeah.
Tortilla, heated up, peanut butter, chocolate Teddy Grahams in it.
Whoa.
That sounds
Actually, I
pretty
think
good.
you've said that.
Yeah,
before
it's a high.
somewhere.
It's a high. I think I might have
Yeah.
put it in Chef Donnie's recipe book.
Yeah.
Shows how great my palate is.
I used to do the microwave nachos that, like, if you just had shredded cheese, tortilla chips, and then just nuke them.
You nuke them and then
I still do that.
the
sometimes.
cheese.
we do it for dinner in my house once a week.
Completely solid. It burns onto
Oh,
the
yeah.
chip. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
And
It's
then you
great.
bite it and it's all chewy and you're like, this is still good.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I was the apples and peanut butter guy.
Yep. Apples and peanut butter, very good. Sun chips, always like Sun chips. You guys like Sun chips?
Yeah, they're okay. Yeah.
They also were like in that.
I like the garden salsa ones.
I like the blue ones, and it was always Sun chips were in that range where you could pretend it was healthy just because it looked different and it didn't look like Doritos, like kind of in your face, like you're gonna fucking eat this.
Yeah.
Sun chips, like it says Sun in it.
Yeah.
The Ruffles sour cream and cheddar, love those chips.
Those are good chips.
I'm
Yeah.
a chip guy through and through. Always been.
Did I say grilled cheese?
Yeah, you said grilled cheese.
Yeah, just whipping up grilled cheese real fast.
Oh, I had one other drink that maybe PFT, you and I might be the only ones you know. Did you guys ever have the juice barrels?
Yeah, juice barrels. That's like a soccer halftime snack.
They were little kegs of
Yeah.
just juice.
Yep, we had
And it
those.
was like there was no flavors. It was just red or blue. Great.
Barrel drinks. You
Great.
you could drink one of those in about a quarter of a second.
Great. Those were great. Yeah, Yoo-hoo, we said. Anything else? What do we miss, Yubi? We got them all?
Feels pretty good, yeah.
I feel like we nailed a lot of these. Hot Pockets was a miss.
Big miss.
I loved Hot Pockets.
What flavor? You like the ham and cheese? You like the cheesesteak?
Cheesesteak and then the pepperoni.
Yeah,
my
pepperoni
two.
was good.
I was ham and cheese and the meatball. The meatball mozzarella.
Yeah. Gotta get the meatball in there.
Yeah.
Have to get the meatball. Gotta find a way to get the meatballs.
I should have. Oh,
Max,
fuck, I should
you're
have done that.
you're lucky that we didn't start with this Mt Rushmore last summer when you first started because your name would definitely have been Meatball.
Yeah.
Meatball Maxi.
Meatball.
Meatball Maxi. All right. Anything else, Hank? That was the best. Getting out of school and just being able to go to town on all the snacks.
Mm-hmm.
it's hard. Like I struggle with like I want to be that house, but also I don't want like a ton of like random kids in my house. So like I think I'm not gonna.
Also, it's valuable to teach your kids to scavenge.
Yeah, but like the one house that had the best snacks was always the 1-1 pick of everyone whose house we're gonna go to.
Yeah,
and I want to be in that middle zone where like, yeah, my kids come over with their friends, but like every day, I think that'd be a lot.
And everyone would sneak into the like, you know, like you can go get a snack, but then later on you'd be like, let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
If you can build it, they will come. That's pretty much it. If you just build like a convenience store in your house, all the kids will come over.
And that's a very slippery slope into like all the kids coming over all the time, and then next thing you know, they're in high school, and then your basement is the party basement.
Yeah, yeah. And also, I don't want all the kids eating my snacks.
Yeah,
they are my snacks. I'm the one who buys them.
Yep,
they're not my kids.
Those were like a lot of these were like the ideal snacks. Like I would rarely have them in my own house, but every time I went somewhere else's, it would be like, this is what I wanted as a kid.
This is what I wish my parents were.
Yes.
Like, that's as simple as like it gets as a kid. It's like, do they allow toy guns? Can you watch TV and snacks? That's what I want my parents to be.
What video game system do they?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, good Mount Rushmore, boys. Okay, that is our show. Takeys on Wednesday. We can't remember if we already taped numbers or not, so we're going to do one right now, and if we did do it, you'll get 2 numbers this time.
So everyone be cool between now and Wednesday, because we will be awarding the AWL award to some podcast listeners. So much like right before Christmas when you try to make your parents think that you're doing a lot of good stuff to get presents and toys, just be cool this week. Everyone,
compliments are fine.
Everyone give memes a compliment this week.
Give everyone a compliment.
Yeah.
Say something nice about all of us. But yeah, so if we have double numbers, you're not hallucinating. There'll just be another numbers with Max and Hank right after these. But let's try to get one of us to get it right now without Max here. So numbers.
8.
77.
3.
20.
99 pug.
Actually, can I change mine?
Yes.
56.
Yes. I was going to say.
Yeah, 56.
Would you rather have 20?
No, I'll take 56.
21.
This officially counts even if we did other numbers?
Everyone agrees, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
It counts. $71.
Love you guys.